Check 1, 2 on the mic. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everyone, to Bryant Stadium and to the dessert of all desserts. You know that cherry on top? Well, this is better than that cherry on top. This is Black Friday, as we like to call it, Black and Orange Friday here up in the press box. The Lakeland Football Friday night webcast doesn't get any better than this, folks. Plant Lakeland in the 2018 regional final for the FHSAA championship. This is an incredible atmosphere, and we would like to welcome all of you here in Lakeland, around the country, for joining us. And we're just so excited. We've got the full broadcast team. Jeff Goddard's on his way. We have Savannah Collins down on the sideline. A treat. She's coming in to give you some. She's been prepping for it, so she's going to give you some good insight on what's going on the sideline. So this should be a great webcast. Sit back and enjoy what hopefully is going to be a good game. Plant coming in here at 11-1. The Panthers only have one loss coming in September 7th against what kind of is one of their crosstown rivals, Armwood, and it was a close one. It was 20-18, so barely the one loss. Of course, your Dreadnoughts coming in undefeated tonight and looking to keep that going. We just have a few more games to get to that championship games, but you cannot overlook this Plant team. We've had some heartbreaks in the past few years against the Panthers, and they're coming in here to Bryant Stadium fired up. I tell you what, we were watching them during pregame, and they are excited. They are juiced, and so we are also juiced and ready. You know, some people get excited for obviously Black Friday and shopping. Many people, though, look forward to this, what they call rivalry weekend, particularly with college football. But if your high school team is still in the action at this point, it's a special thing. So we'd like to just send it to the band right now for a little pregame. We'll be right back with you to get this thing underway. Stay with us in just one moment. And there you have it. The Lakeland High School Dreadnought Marching Band kicking things off here tonight in pregame with the national anthem. And as we've said, Robert Weiner, the head coach, has really pulled some fourth quarter heroics against these Knots the past couple years. And the Knots are looking for some redemption in this game. And Bob Martinez is right now up on the webcast making an announcement. But we're excited to have everyone again here as he's welcomed everyone at the Bryant Stadium. We'll welcome you to the webcast and excited to get this thing going in just a few moments. The road to the playoffs, this is really what we would consider to be the Elite Eight. If you're looking at things, you follow the NCAA basketball championships. We're down to that Elite Eight for high school football. This is, again, the regional final. We have, of course, Columbia, Columbia got beat, which was one of the number 1 seeds. A lot of people thought Columbia could take it all the way. They had that talent to do that, but they got beat last week against Robert E. Lee. We're going to take it to Savannah right now for a quick report. We'll be right back with you.
Thanks, guys. Well, there's so much history between these two teams, and for the past 4 years, Plant and Lakeland High School have met in this exact spot. The past 2 years, it's gone in Plant's favor, but there is no shortage of history between these two teams. You know, talking to head coach of Plant, Robert Weiner, earlier this week, he was saying, we know each other's every single play, and he was saying how in the middle of the season, he's working plays in that he knows will hopefully pay off when they meet Lakeland in the offseason. And the same goes for Coach Castle. They have met so many times. They have had so much history between these two teams, and we're going to see that play out tonight to see if Lakeland can get the W back on their side.
You can also like us on Facebook.
Thanks so much, Savannah. Great insight. As Savannah and I were talking earlier, you know, these coaches, yes, it's the next game in front of you. You got to beat that team to get to the next stage, of course, but don't think for a second they're not putting in the back of their mind when they reach these teams, these elite teams, that they're going to have to pull out all the stops. They're going to have their playbooks tuned up. They're going to have players executing the playbooks, and it's not just you can't skip through this one. This is one of those games you got to execute. It's not going to be a blowout either way. It's going to be who wants it the most, hopefully who limits the turnovers, and all those things we see in normal games. But getting back to the brackets, again, Columbia got beat last week against Robert E. Lee, so Lee and Edgewater tonight in our other side of the bracket. Of course, Lakeland and Plant. So we will play the winner, hopefully, if Lakeland advances, of that Lee-Edgewater game. Of course, in the lower 4, we have Venice and Bloomingdale going at it tonight. And then the team that you would most recognize probably that we've had some history with and historical battles with, St. Thomas Aquinas and Dwyer going at it. So the winner of St. Thomas and Dwyer will play Venice and Bloomingdale. And, of course, Lakeland and Plant will play the winner of Lee and Edgewater. So we're, again, about to get things underway in just a few minutes. They have the runway to victory all set. And I know Jeff Goddard, again, said he's on his way, so he will be here. And, again, we'll be hearing Savannah Collins throughout this, as well as Fred Lopez is going to join me at halftime. Jeff has an interview with one of our new sponsors, but then we'll do a halftime recap with Fred and I for the second half of the halftime show. So, as you can see, this is a great atmosphere. The Plant players right there have their flags and their banners flying, and they are hyped up. Now just awaiting the Lakeland Dreadnoughts to come on to the field, and I see my cohort making it up the stairs, one Jeff Goddard. He's going to get his headset on. Jump in here, Jeff, and get back with the action. The man, the timing is impeccable. He knows when to show up. But hit a little traffic there, Jeff?
A little bit of traffic. A little Black Friday traffic. Not
Everyone's
too bad
scrambling around to get their last-minute goodies, I guess. But just prepping them on, obviously, some of the history. Just had a little report from Savannah, how both these coaches kind of prep. Even though it's one game at a time, these coaches are looking at each other and have had some history here the last 4 years. In particular, Plant's got the best of us the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, going back to about 7 or 8 years ago when James Wilder was there, they got us pretty good. The 1 year in the playoffs, and the last 2 seasons were both heartbreaking losses.
Yeah,
I'm sure Dreadnought fans remember all too well. I don't know if you guys talked in depth or not, but 2 years ago was the great classic kind of higher scoring back and forth.
Yep.
The Dreadnoughts had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the second half, Willie Baker, and then late in the game, late fourth quarter, A.J. Davis to give us the lead back. And unfortunately, we couldn't hold them, and Plant drove down and won the game by 3 or 4 points. And, of course, that was the last game for A.J. Davis, James Robinson, that group of seniors.
Yeah, tough way to go.
Yep, tough way to lose. And then last year and that was at Plant. And then last year we hosted over here, same night, day after Thanksgiving. And it was a low-scoring game.
Yep.
And I believe we were up 10-6 until the late stages of the game. And we could not get that last first down or get one more score. And they took the ball back with like a minute something to go, 2 minutes to go. And they drove down and won the game 13-10 in the closing seconds of the game. So just very different game from 2 years ago. Yeah. It was more of a defensive struggle. But nonetheless, another heartbreaking loss for the Dreadnoughts against Plant. But I feel like this year is different. And the reason why is the defense. The Dreadnought defense has been dominant all year. We're allowing about 5.7 points per game, just absolutely dominant. And to me, that's the difference and why I think Lakeland's going to break this 2-year losing streak to Plant and come out on top.
Yeah, again, either team could obviously win. Jeff, both teams, you wouldn't expect a blowout in this kind of game because of the quality of both programs. You look at, again, the scoreboard for Plant. They've put some big numbers up, as Lakeland has as well throughout the course of things. And I know Michael just said that we have another new sponsor tonight that you're going to be talking about at halftime, but mention them a little bit right now.
Yeah, we want to thank General RV, Charlie Hall, who's a big-time Dreadnought booster and been involved with the program for many, many years, him and his father both. He works for General RV, and so he's got them lined up to be our sponsor tonight for the webcast. So we're making this webcast possible because we do, of course, have to pay a fee to the state to broadcast these playoff games. So we really appreciate Charlie stepping up with his company, General RV. He's like the corporate director of finance for them.
Awesome.
And so he'll actually be here. He's here tonight. I just saw him down in the stands when I got here. And he'll be my interview subject for the Harry Seafood halftime show tonight. So we'll talk not only about, of course, General RV and about their history and what all they do for those of you who are RV enthusiasts, but also, of course, we'll talk a little bit about Dreadnought football with Charlie because he's kind of a quasi-historian, if you will. I mean, he's
good.
Big-time fan, for sure. So.
Yeah, integral part, our sponsors of the webcast, as everyone knows. We couldn't bring it to you without them, and some of those folks just step up, so thanks to Charlie, and we'll get to talk with them more. My brother's here with a couple of his boys, and brought a couple guests with them. So, again, this atmosphere, just nothing like it here tonight, and the Friday black and orange day, we would call it, not just a Black Friday.
They encourage Dreadnought fans to wear black today, I guess, because of Black Friday. It's supposed to be a blackout tonight.
Yep.
So that's why we have our black shirts on. If we win tonight, maybe we'll go back to our orange shirts, for next week. But one game at a time. And I would say, though, based on the other bracket for 7A, who we would play next week, is a 5 seed, I think, and a 7 seed between Edgewater and Lee. Yeah, so you would have to say that you feel like whoever wins the game tonight between Lakeland and Plant would definitely host next week against either of those teams.
Which is huge, yeah.
So the winner tonight would definitely host next week, and you would probably say will be considered the favorite next week to make it to the state championship game. It's interesting, of course, you see St. Thomas, of course, is still alive in the bottom half of the bracket. Everyone just kind of assumes that they'll make it to the state championship game. They probably will, although it looks like
Columbia, got beat. Big surprise.
But it looks like they'll probably play Venice next week. Venice plays Bloomingdale, which actually I live over in Bloomingdale, right across the street from Bloomingdale High School.
Okay.
And for the most part, they haven't had a very great football tradition at Bloomingdale. My wife went to Bloomingdale, and when she was in school, the band was always really good, but the football team wasn't so good. So good to see Bloomingdale doing well. So I would certainly expect to see a Venice-St. Thomas matchup on the bottom half of the bracket next week. But you never know. I mean, Venice has had a pretty good run here the last 5 or so years. I think they've even beaten St. Thomas once or twice in the playoffs. So that interesting bracket here. But if you see either obviously whoever wins tonight is kind of a heavyweight, and then Venice and St. Thomas, a lot of chalk advancing in this, except for Lake City, Columbia. A lot of chalk looks like it's advancing in the 7A playoffs.
I'd say so. Again, this is the regional final, so you can't just be powder puffed to get in this game, and you got to show some gumption. We've seen a lot of teams just put up 50, 60 points this year, but as you said, I think we've got the defense to match it this year.
Yeah, and going to the keys to the game, as you see the Dreadnoughts are coming
Dreadnoughts
onto the field. All black tonight for the Dreadnoughts. Black helmets with the orange L, as you see, and then their black jerseys and black pants. Kind of a traditional Lakeland look tonight with all black.
Absolutely.
Of course, Plant will be in white with the gold helmets. But my keys for tonight, Tim, going back to last week, the defense played great last week as normal against Kathleen. 64 total yards, -3 rushing. The offense was a little bit inconsistent. And not that they couldn't move the ball, the issue really was the penalties. I don't know, did you watch the game on the webcast at all?
I didn't. I was up. I wish I could have. I was up where we can't get the signal in North Carolina in the mountains. But I was getting some great updates from a friend of mine, and he was kind of echoing the same thing you just said. Spurts. Obviously, DeMarcus Bowman had some great runs.
Yeah, DeMarcus had like 160 yards, and Skeeman Williams ran for a touchdown, threw a touchdown pass. But just the amount of false starts alone, Tim, like 6 or 7 false starts, all kind of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, all that kind of stuff. which is understandable in the fact that you're playing Kathleen for the second time in 3 weeks. It's a rivalry game. I didn't expect it to be another 50-0 rout like the regular season contest. So it's somewhat predictable, but I'm hoping all their plants, better than Kathleen. I think Lakeland hopefully will come out more focused tonight, a little less chippy, not playing, against, crosstown rival, and just focus on football tonight.
Yeah.
So to me, that's the first key is you got to clean up all that nonsense, the penalties, all that. You got to clean that up first of all. And second of all, we did have a few turnovers last week, which was a little surprising, including DeMarcus Bowman fumble, which he rarely fumbles. So that would be the part B of the first key to victory is clean up the penalties and the turnovers.
Well, glad we're back together here, Jeff, in the press box, high above Bill Castle Field and Bryant Stadium.
Great to have Savannah with us tonight.
It's feels like a complete group we got going.
The gang is back. We're ready to rock and roll tonight.
As you can hear, the crowd is loud and festive, and Jace Hohenthaler is set to get this one underway. The Dreadnoughts won the coin toss. They did defer to the second half. And Jace will get things going in just a moment.
I like it, getting our defense on the field first. I mean, we have a good offense, but our defense has been dominant this year.
And we are underway in the 2018 FHSA Regional Final, caught at the 10-yard line. Cut back to the middle of the field, number 21 has some gap. And Jace Hohenthaler, the kicker, grabs him at the 40-yard line and wrestles him down. J-Ho with the tackle on special teams. Good job for the kicker.
Yeah, and that was a nice return by Plant, and give Plant credit. They travel pretty well. It's probably as many fans as I've seen in the visiting bleachers here at Bryant Stadium all year.
They know their football over there in Tampa.
Absolutely.
And Plant, a lot of support for their program. And the Dreadnought defense, as you said, will get things underway here as the shotgun formation with 3 wide receivers to the near side. Just at the 42-yard line will be the starting mark for their first offensive play. Handoff right side, that same number 21 who just is fighting his way, picking up a good 7-8 yards.
Fuller Sanders.
Saunders is a workhorse, gaining 6 yards on that first down.
Antonio Ware made the tackle for the Dreadnoughts. Tucker Gleason is the junior quarterback for the Plant Panthers, and pretty good one at that.
I was watching him in the warm-ups, has a great arm. And they will test the cornerbacks. Shotgun again. 2 split wide receivers. Handoff to their big runner, Saunders again. As Tucker Gleason and company pick up the first down.
I'm actually not full of that Sanders. I think according to our roster, that's who it should be, but I think our roster may not be updated as the public address announcer here at the stadium is saying a different name for number 21. Might be our double jersey situation.
We'll get that. So just pounding the ball right now. Tucker Gleason, the quarterback. Big offensive line for Plant. A lot of speed, though, for the Dreadnought defense, as you know. Just underway here in the first quarter, 11:03 remaining in this regional final. Gleason hands off again to number 21, who slips and gets hit there right hard. Nice driven down for a loss. The defense comes up big there with a big stop. Their first loss of yardage.
Antonio Ware, again involved in the tackle along with linebacker Khalil Crawford. And they're going to lose about a yard, so we'll call it 2nd and 11.
2nd down and 11. Plant's going to pound it, and then they'll hit you downfield with a pass when you least expect it. Number 14 goes out wide. Norwood, along with number 6 Parker out there. Tucker Gleason's going to be 4 yards deep. He's going to call for the ball. Snaps. Hands off to Saunders again, looking for room up the middle. Gets upended after about a 3.5-yard gain, 4-yard gain.
They bring up 3rd and 8.
Khalil Crawford with a nice tackle. Khalil has been a workhorse on defense, and as you said, you don't just call one name on that Dreadnought defense. It's a full team effort, and they're going to have that kind of effort tonight to hold the Panthers at bay. But a long 3rd down conversion right now in their first offensive series, 3rd and 8. Tucker's going to check off with his offensive line. Gleason steps back. Has a back flank to each side. Rolls out pass, drop over the middle. Well defended and caught, and they're going to take forward progress right at the first down marker. It's going to be close. It looks like he's going to have it by the narrowest of margins.
Caleb Ferris, the senior wide receiver, so very good throw by Gleason around their money. And, of course, as soon as the ball got there, he was, like you said, tackled, defended well, but that's a good pitch and catch there for the Panthers.
Fast-paced offense, first quarter by the Panthers here, as they want to keep momentum on a beautiful almost full moon, I believe,
You look
over
like a
Bryant
full
Stadium
moon, yeah.
tonight. It looks nice
If not, it's very
over
close to
Lake
full
Parker.
moon.
The Dreadnought defense is trying to hold here. Number 1 goes in motion. Gleason hands off to Saunders again, we think, or we'll get the name, if it's not Saunders, the correct name, as the defense stops it off the left side.
That time the defensive front for Lakeland stood tall there. Lloyd Summerall in on the tackle along with
Latrell Jean, I believe
Latrell
that
Jean,
was.
yep.
Second down and 9. As Gleason pops over to get the play from Robert Weiner, the head coach of Plant. Very experienced head coaches, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get a better head coaching matchup
No.
than Weiner and Castle here in the third round of the state playoffs.
Gleason set on a 2nd and 9. Drops back 3 steps, looks left. He's going to get a little pressure, rolled out to the right side, flushed out, throws it out of bounds, and no chance really. Taylor Ferris was the intended receiver on that 2nd down try, but just thrown out of bounds by
Great
Gleason.
coverage by Antonio Ware and Tayshawn Nixon for the Dreadnoughts as they had Ferris bracketed over here on the west sideline.
A little bit of a somber note, Jeff, number 44 that used to play in 1986 for us was our fullback. Think of his name in just a second. He lost his mom last weekend. I'll get you his name, and
Sorry to hear
we
that.
wanted to mention that.
Wish them well. All right, 3rd and 9 here.
3rd and 9. Gleason drops back, looking, has some pressure now. Comes from behind, throws it, and dropped.
Incomplete.
He threw it in the host. Boy, 3 Lakeland Dreadnought defenders all over the wide receiver.
I think it's okay. Might have just got a little stinger there.
So it was Greg Hardy, who was
Hardy?
1986, played fullback. He lost his mom, Mercedes, last weekend. So we just like to say, prayers go out to the Hardy family. And, again, once a part of the Dreadnought family, always part of the Dreadnought family,
Absolutely.
and we're sorry for their loss.
And so it's Leonard Parker, the intended receiver there for Plant. And Gleason got hit right as he threw the ball, but still delivered on the money. But it was defended well. As you said, 2 or 3 Dreadnoughts were right there, and they were able to break up the pass.
It's one of those
Almost blocked by Jahari Martin.
fair catch at the 10-yard. Probably a smart play there. Just don't want to pin ourselves back inside the 5. That just gives the offense a few yards to work with.
Good job there by Chris Howard. If he doesn't catch that, they could potentially down it inside the 5.
So the Dreadnoughts will try their first offensive series here.
I think that running back is Walter Wilbon, number 27. I don't know if he switched jerseys, but I believe that's who was getting his carries. Walter Wilbon, yes.
Okay. So he's number 21 on the field, 27 on the roster.
Number 1 player on defense for Plant is number 52, Sean O'Keefe. So keep an eye on number 52.
Ski McWilliams, hands off left side. DeMarcus Bowman picks up a few.
It's about 3 or 4 yards off the left tackle.
Keon Zipper there to block. Number 14 checks in, Deshaun Graham. Coming out, the big man, Kevis Dyer, 6'3" tight end, pops out of the game. We've got West and Deshaun Graham to the left side. Ski McWilliams has got Bowman and Blackfield. A little bit of a high snap. They're going to do kind of a option where Ski McWilliams is going to keep it and pick up the first down. Nice job on the option of just keeping it and running. There is a Plant player holding his leg down back at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, I think McWilliams got about 9 yards or so in that carry. Nice looking play there by Lakeland.
Good push by the right side of the offensive line, and blocking just followed the right side.
Want to give a quick shout out to Coach Baylor's family. As I guess got a text from Coach Baylor's dad. There in D.C. Will's parents watching the game tonight, and his aunts and uncles in Indiana watching. So shout out to the entire Baylor family.
All right. We just remind you that rights to this regional final, the state 2018 FHSA Class 7A Football Championships, have been granted to the Lakeland Football Webcast by the Florida High School Athletic Association and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening and viewing audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this webcast without the express written consent of the Florida High School Athletic Association is prohibited. Dreadnoughts with their first moving the chains. Bad snap low was a one hopper, but nice blocking there. Oh my word. an ankle tackle at about the 32-yard line, or else Ski McWilliams would have had a host of blockers in an open field.
He'd still be running right now. Huh?
Wow.
And I couldn't quite tell who made that tackle for Plant, but it was a great tackle, perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle.
There was no one else near Ski McWilliams, and he had 2 blockers in front of him. And it looked like a perfect caravan going down the sideline.
And it looked like McWilliams was just starting to hit his next gear as well when he got tripped up.
There is an official's timeout. So also
for measurements, it looks like it might be just barely short. Let's see. I said bring the chains out.
I'm going to say this. Sportsmanship is having pride in your school, your team, and yourself. Sportsmanship is respect for the game and those who play it. The Florida High School Athletic Association reminds you to take on the responsibility of good sportsmanship, playing strong, play hard, play fair. This message is provided by the station and the FHSAA.
So, in fact, it was a first down. They had a first down by about 3 or 4 inches, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dreadnoughts as they're now out to the their own 34-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Knots.
Dreadnoughts moving the chains again. Ball just shy of the 35-yard line. Still not breaking into Plant territory yet. McWilliams keeps it and runs into a pile of Plant Panthers and is going to go backwards. Stayed on his feet, but that may not be wise, Jeff, as he's just losing more yards and you can get the ball stripped.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to mark him down to 30 as opposed to the 26, but still that's a 4-yard loss, so 2nd and 14. So we might perhaps see the first pass of the night come up here for Stephen Williams.
Right now, both teams are set to pound things on the ground, and both very talented runners with Wilbon, of course, for Plant, and DeMarcus Bowman, the feature backs on either side. The refs are going to call a timeout, or was that Coach Castle calling the timeout?
I think it's the referee call timeout for something. As you see the head referee over there talking with one of the other officials. So they're going to go and take the first quarter water break, Tim.
And that'll give us a chance to send it to our first commercial. So the rights to this webcast and the regional final, the 2018 FHA's Class 7A Football Championship, have been granted to the Lakeland Football Webcast. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Back here at Bryant Stadium, and they're announcing over the PA that, of course, the Lakeland Wave, a special Dreadnought Wave coming here at the end of the first quarter, just 6:25 remaining in this first quarter. But the Dreadnoughts trying to post their first points. They hand off to Bowman, who's got a lot of room left side. Bowman jiving down to the 45, and let's see where they mark him. Looks like it will be first down, yep.
Number 19 for the Panthers, Britt Barksdale, made the tackle. I think that may have been the guy who made the tackle earlier on McWilliams as well.
Jeff, I heard the crowd.
That's also an ankle tackle, if you will.
Yeah.
I mean, if he doesn't make that tackle, I think Bowman gets at least another 10 yards.
I heard the crowd ooh as soon as he got the ball because there was a lot of open space, and they anticipated Bowman with a nice run there, and he did, in fact, pick up the first down. Could have been a lot more, like you said, though, but 15-yarder, first and 10.
The left side of the offensive line, once again, opening up holes tonight for Bowman.
McWilliams at the 45 is going to hand off to Bowman straight up the middle, and he's going to get just piled under.
No gain.
Had 2 or 3 Panthers just falling on him, led by number 52 for the Panthers, Sean O'Keefe and Steven Sargent.
Being their leading defensive player. Of course, playing over in South Tampa, a very desirable school district.
Yep.
In South Tampa.
They take a lot of pride in all their athletics, as do the Dreadnoughts. And as Jeff said, a great crowd coming over from Tampa for Plant. A little bit of a high snap. Ski McWilliams keeps it. And they got that
didn't matter.
Figured out now a little bit.
Either way, if he had handed off to Bowman, Bowman
it was covered either way.
Bowman, it was covered either way. They had Bowman covered, and then they had 2 guys just pounced on McWilliams. So either way, that was not going to work. So now that's going to be a loss of 4, 3rd and 14 here, Tim.
Well, Coach Castle is going to have to work something up as Plant really had figured out that option. And
Great
like
option,
you said,
yeah.
when both of them are covered, that's a good sign that it's a well-coached defense, and I've seen that before, and we're ready for it. 3 wide receivers to the far side. Zipper all alone down here, the big tight end. There's some movement, but they're going to let the play go. They set up a screen to Bowman. He has to jump up high, unfortunately, which killed his momentum.
Hope he's okay. He's slow to get up.
He landed kind of funny, didn't he? He's okay getting up. Seems to be fine. Just more frustrated at himself, I think, that he had to jump up and couldn't turn around and run. Set up well, though. I like the idea there.
Good play call by Coach Castle. It was set up well. If he's able to catch that clean, he had one guy to beat, and then he had a big gain. If he could got by the first guy, he could have easily had a first down. So, yeah, I'd like the play call.
So both teams trading first series that were stifled by the defenses, and Chase Hohenthaler kicks kind of a line drive, but it'll take a little bit of a bounce, and picked up by number 6.
He's down.
Yeah, it's down at the 20. Good job of him probably just getting down, not trying to get back up, but decent field position for the Panthers. It's where normally they would start anyway. So
Look at Antonio Ware involved in that tackle. I tell you, actually, Tim, those first 2 drives almost identical. Each offense gets 2 or 3 first downs, and then they stall. Some good plays by the defense. So very similar.
like we said, this game isn't a little different than what we've seen through the season with the Knots just kind of having their way with some teams. This
is like 2 heavyweights.
It is. It's a big one. It's a blow for blow.
Yep.
Grind it out. Turnovers are of ultimate importance, obviously. As is all special teams play. You just have to execute on all phases of the game in this kind of contest. Quarterback number 4 is going to keep it and
goes
get nowhere. Tucker Gleason, probably not the fleetest of foot. Careful, Dreadnoughts, there. You don't get a late flag.
Yeah, the whistle had been blowing for 2 or 3 seconds there. The refs, I think, did the right thing by not calling that.
Well, the one thing, I don't want to jinx it, Jeff. The one thing you hope is that the refs manage the game well. Obviously, things get out of control, but they let the kids play in these games, and right now they seem to be doing that.
Yeah, totally different than Kathleen. Although Plant's kind of become a rival because we've played a lot in the playoffs recently, including them, eliminating us like we talked about the last 2 seasons. There's certainly Lakeland might have payback on their mind, but these kids didn't grow up in the same neighborhood. They don't know each other, and so I think you're going to see a much more cleaner game than last week's game.
Tucker Gleason with 4 wide receivers, 2 splits, sends a man in motion inside, calls for the ball, hands off to Wilbon. Wilbon gets hit hard at the 22. What a shot by Crawford.
He is making an early case to be the defensive player of the game.
It's a helmet banger right there. He just came up, filled that gap, and nowhere to go.
3 tackles already in the first quarter for Crawford. He's had earlier in the year he had some really good games, but it almost seemed like over the second half of the season he kind of had some quiet games almost. It seemed like, at least compared to some of his really big games early in the year, but he's locked and loaded tonight, Tim.
Another long 3rd down conversion for the Panthers here on their 2nd series on offense, and this quarter's flying by with 2:35 remaining. Gleason is going to have 2 backs flanking him. He's going to drop back. He's going to run straight up the middle. He's got lots of room. He's got the first down and more. He's off. He was held, but the quarterback is off and running. Finally caught and brought down at the 20-yard line. I said he couldn't run, but he just made me a liar. Gleason with a beautiful run down to the Lakeland 20.
I believe that was a design quarterback draw there. Good call by Plant. And not that he's very fast, but it was blocked well. And like you said, you had a receiver downfield blocking. Maybe it was a hold, maybe not, but I didn't get called, so it's not a hold. And he was able to get about 58-yard gain on that play.
Biggest play of the ball game for either team.
Yeah, first big momentum shifting play, really.
Plant with a near 60-yarder. Some momentum now for the Panthers. Gleason hands off right side to Wilbon. Wilbon hitting his way down inside the 10-yard line, breaking a few tackles along the way.
So that's going to be maybe just short of a first down. It's going to be 2nd and 1 at about the 11-yard line or so.
You got to realize in this game, and they do, but maybe they just need to be reminded. There's no second chances. You got to bring everything you have to every play. Right now, the Panthers trying to put the first points on the board.
Down here.
They do have an uncovered guy. They hand off to Wilbon, but nice tackle.
And he's going to get the first down, so it'll be 1st and goal now for Plant about the 8.5-yard line, it looks like.
Number 57 did stop the momentum. Lampkin for the Dreadnoughts on the defense. But all they needed was a yard, and they got 2 for the first down. 1st and goal inside the 10 at the 9-yard line.
Well, if this game continues with the lack of penalties and both teams wanting to run the ball a lot, it's going to be a very quick game. I mean, this first quarter is flying by. It's only 1:25 to go.
Number 8 split out wide, Caleb Ferris. Watch him, I formation.
Look for the play action fake here, Tim.
Gleason does play action fake just like Jeff said over the middle. And beautiful little throw, but broken up at the last minute by Finley Graham.
That was intended for Jude May, I think, number 5, their wide receiver.
Probably should have been caught, actually,
yeah,
Jeff.
I mean, good coverage. The Lakeland guy was right there behind him, but he kind of used his body to shield the
him,
Lakeland
yeah.
guy, and the ball was right there on him. I mean, Gleason's throwing a very accurate ball tonight, and that one probably should have been caught. I agree.
Well, he's excited in warm-ups. He was just drilling people left and right, just right on the mark. He was feeling it, bopping up and down. So we'll see how he goes throughout the night. Gleason, Wilbon, handoff, pushes the pile near the 5-yard line and then stops right there. Whistles blow, dead. Bringing up now a third down.
Huge play here, 3rd and goal from the 5. If you're Lakeland, you want to stop him, you want to make sure you don't commit a penalty, because then that's going to give them probably most likely automatic first down. But a big play here, we'll see. I mean, could be 4-down territory, especially if they get down to that 1 or 2 yard line, or we'll see if they elect to kick a field goal. It'll be interesting to see. But the Lakeland defense has to make a stand here to force Coach Weiner for Plant to make that decision.
So here we go. A big play in the first quarter, 31 seconds left, 3rd and 5. Gleason drops back, looking. Now getting some pressure.
No one's open.
He's getting lots of pressure, but escapes, eludes it, throws it to the outside, and it's going to be incomplete. Good job of Gleason by just buying enough time to throw the ball away and avoid the sack and the big loss. So they'll still have a 4th and goal at the 5, and it looks like the kick team is coming in to try to put the first points on the board.
Yeah, the 5-yard line, I think you got to kick the field goal. You had, I think, Willie Lampkin applying some pressure along with Lloyd Summerall for Lakeland. Great job by Lakeland, get some pressure on Gleason.
That same 2 guys that were here last, that Rainey.
Yes,
and
I see Chris Rainey and Ahmad Black down
Ahmad
there.
Black
you hear
down
they
there
joined us in the
support.
4th quarter last week
Yeah,
on the
that's
webcast?
awesome, I think. So here we go. See if they can put the first points on the board. Plant does put it through. No flags. And 3 points up for the Plant Panthers in 17 seconds in the first quarter. So Patrick tacks on.
The whole drive was the 58-yard quarterback draw for Gleason on 3rd and 8, and that got him in field goal range, and they capitalized, and as you said, take a 3-0 lead. But you got to give, if you're the Dreadnoughts, you'll take that. They had 1st and goal, and you hold them to a field goal.
You're watching the 2018 FHSA Football Regional Final on the Lakeland Football Webcast. We'll be right back.
Actually, we'll just keep it here.
We're already back.
And actually, want to say again, once again, our sponsor tonight for the webcast is General RV. They're located in Dover. They're your RV Supercenter, just a short drive west on I-4. They have the lowest prices on over 700 RVs. Their friendly staff can help you with all your RV needs, from sales and service to parts and accessories. General RV is the nation's largest family-owned RV dealer. They carry all the best trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, and pre-owned RVs. Join the RV family today and visit their Tampa Supercenter in Dover, just a short drive west on I-4.
Remind everyone, too, that if you're here in Lakeland, the Dreadnought Highlight Report with Coach Castle on Monday night, November 26th at 7 p.m. in the LHS Film Room. Hopefully it's a winning highlight report, but nonetheless, they'll be there November 26th at 7 p.m. if you want to listen in, as the Plant Panthers strike first, at least with the three-pointer, and it's going to be caught by Finley Graham at the 1. He takes a little bit of his time getting it back and then makes a cut. Finley Graham off to the right. Good job of juking and jiving. Finley Graham still on his feet. Finley Graham at the 35. Turn on the Jets. Finley go 50. 41 block, just picking his way slowly. Gets all the way down to the 35 before he runs out a little bit of gas. Chris Rainey liked that one down there. Ahmad Black, they're both bowing their head up saying yes. That's the way we do it here.
What a spectacular return by Finley Graham. He's put a jolt into the Lakeland crowd, and that will be the last play of the first quarter. So after the quarter break, Lakeland would be in business, 1st and 10 at the Plant 34-yard line, it looks like.
There's a lot of cutting going on there. I think Savannah's got something down on the sideline. Let's take it to her for just a brief report.
That last series, Guys, in that last series for the Panthers, you see what is going to cause the Dreadnoughts the most problems tonight. Their quarterback, Tucker Gleason, he's a dual threat. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards. He can run big spread plays, but then also break down into the I formation. But when you have a defensive lineman like Keon Zipper who can get through and put the pressure on him, that's when we're able to be successful and then able to be explosive on our kickoff return, just like we just saw.
As we are now in the middle of the Dreadnought wave at the end of the first quarter here, everyone's standing up and just waving over there to the 5th floor of the Pediatric Center.
Tonight's game in the 2018
And what a great tradition again, just started here this year in 2018 as you see the kids enjoying the game from their room and getting a little acknowledgement, and they're so appreciative to all the staff and everyone that works with those kids as well. Just a great
we want
great
to give a
little
shout out
tradition.
to Savannah Collins. Great report there. Yeah, I want to piggyback on what she said in terms of the Dreadnought defense. I think we both will kind of agree that all year long the defense has been dominant, from an entire perspective. But the front seven especially has been dominant and great against the run. But if you had to say there might be a weakness with the Dreadnought defense, you might would say it's the pass defense. But so far tonight, the secondary has been on point and had great coverage against Plant. So very promising, really, to me, so far, the Dreadnought defense.
Gleason is a little bit more mobile than I thought, too, as Ski McWilliams now hands off to Bowman. Bowman's going to have to really make something happen as he pushes the pile near the 30-yard line.
3 yards there for Bowman. But I don't think Gleason's going to juke anybody out or anything. But, Plant blocks well and opens up the holes.
I think he's a good
big and
decision
physical,
maker. Yeah, he's big and he sees when there's a hole. He's just going to take it. And you don't have to be super speedster if you got a hole there. A lot of times you're looking at the skill players not paying attention to the quarterback, and he just made the most of it on that drive.
No doubt, but the pass defense so far has been good, not only because the secondary has had good coverage, the front seven has applied pressure a couple times and made Gleason throw the ball under duress. So it's complete team effort so far by the defense.
Weston Howard out to the right side with the handoff. Bowman. Bowman makes one cut and breaks near the 25-yard line for another
just
3
short,
or 4
I think,
yards.
It'll be third and about 1, maybe even less than 1.
Coach Castle, again, just pounding right now. Tried a couple options. The Plant Panthers seem to have figured out the option from Ski McWilliams. Now just handing it off to Bowman, letting the offensive line block. But it is a 3rd and 2 upcoming for the Knots. Here, just underway, second quarter.
Yeah, I thought they were going to spot about the 25, but they have to spot the 26, so it is 3rd and 2.
McWilliams set. It's a fumble. Just get the ball first, guys.
So they do recover, but they lose about 2 yards. So now it's going to be 4th and 4, maybe 4th and 5.
So just a case there, Jeff, of just running before you got the ball. I mean, they just got a little impatient.
Yeah, it'd be 4th and 4 now. So I don't think he's going to bring Jace Honethorn out to kick a
It's going to be the hard snap count. It's going to be a hard snap count.
45-yard field goal. So they're going to go for it. I think they'll go for it.
I think they will, but he might try
that first. Yeah. You could burn a timeout. You haven't used a timeout yet, and it's already the second quarter. You might go for the hard count first and then call timeout.
Let's see what he does. They call for the ball, and the play is to Bowman. Bowman has a little head of steam.
He's got it
over one man and then gets the first down. He really kept his feet nice. The balance was excellent there as he kind of side hurdled one of the players on the ground.
And he had a little friendly fire, kind of ran on his own players there. As you said, did a great job of keeping his balance, making sure he gets the first down, as that was paramount. So, yeah, no doubt that time Coach Castle didn't even think about doing a hard snap count. He went ahead and snapped it pretty quickly.
And sometimes that hard snap count can actually kill some momentum. When your offense is driving a little bit and got some fire on them, you want to keep that power going.
Of course, he also knows that Coach Wander might be expecting the hard snap count. They might be trying to go away from tendencies by going ahead and snapping the ball quickly.
Weston Howard again out to the far side. You have a big man, Kevis Dyer, into block on the right side with Zipper just stacked on the right side with bodies. They're going to fake to Bowman, and McWilliams spins around, keeps his feet, picks up a few yards back to the interior.
About 4 yards. Yeah, nice gain on first down, 2nd and 6.
As you said, Jeff, right now with this ground game, the clock is just churning, and that first quarter sped by rapidly, and already nearly 3 minutes into the second quarter.
Last week's game with all the penalties to Kathleen, it was taking forever. This game is moving at a twice as fast of a pace as the game last week. Now, I won't be surprised, Tim, to see us come back to that screenplay we ran there in the first drive because it was set up nicely. I think Coach Castle might go back to it at some point tonight.
Williams hands off Bowman, left side, and Bowman, nice tackle on the exterior. Was man-to-man coverage, number 30, I think that was for Plant.
Yeah. Zaquan
Gillespie.
Yep.
Gillespie. Yeah,
Great tackle.
Yeah. They've done a lot of ankle tackles, but hey, if you hold their ankles, they can't run, so it doesn't.
No, yeah, it looks like maybe that's how they're coached. Yeah, they're definitely getting some good tackles there at the ankles and some big play-saving tackles because 2 or 3 times now the Dreadnought runners could have gotten a lot bigger gains. Twice was, I believe, Bowman and once McWilliams.
Interesting there. I don't know if you saw that. The Jace Hohenthaler actually came out thinking he was going to kick a field goal, but it's 3rd and 8. So Coach Castle called a timeout with his team a little bit scrambled, giving his offense a chance to reset and hopefully keep this drive going and pick up the 6 variety, not just the 3.
Yeah, I can see on it's 3rd and 8 now. At this point, I think if it's obviously if it's like 4th and 2 or something, I think you'll go for it. But if it's like 4th and 5 or longer, once you're inside the 20, I do think you would kick the field goal at this point and try to tie the game. But look for a pass play here. I can see him going back to that screen. I could also see maybe a play action fake and try to get hit zipper. We've had some success with those wide receiver screens with your Darian West.
It's so fascinating, all the routes that you can take literally with the talented players that you have.
Now also, I'm not sure, how Jace Hohenthaler prefers kicking from which hash mark. Right now, we are on the far left hash mark. So that'd be interesting, too, to see if they might, I don't know. I mean, if you see him run up the middle towards the right, you might be trying to set up the field goal. Of course, I mean, anytime Bowman gets the ball, you're not really conceding anything, Okay,
Interesting.
Officials timeout.
Yeah, officials timeout. That was not charged to the Lakeland Dreadnoughts, although it really doesn't matter. We got several here with 8:38 remaining. As Ski McWilliams drops back, rolls out, throws it, caught to Zipper. Zipper, the big man's going to hurdle a guy at the 7 and down inside the 4-yard line, and that will be a first down.
11-yard game.
Nice job. This, as you said, using that big body Zipper, and then a nice hurdle for the big man.
I mean, I think before that last hurdle, I'm not sure if he had the first down or not, but that definitely got it for him.
Good looking
Great play by Lakeland. Yeah, let McWilliams use his legs, roll out, and hit Zipper. All right, now you got 4 plays here to punch the ball in for a touchdown.
Now the ball at the right hash, so you got the whole entire left side. Let's see if they use the short side of the field or go, and they are using the short side of the field. Power formation down inside the 2-yard line. I think Jahari Martin, interesting.
Yeah, he gets the goal line carry some.
That hammer, just a little bit extra power, push power there. So they're going to be 2nd and goal at the 1.5. Keeping that same hammer power formation in with number 44 as well for the Knots.
I think Bowman gets it this time.
Nope.
The touchdown, Jahari
Martin. Khalil Crawford, Jahari Martin, and Bowman in there to lay the hammer down for the Knots' first touchdown of the night.
So Lakeland responds to the Plant field goal. Great kickoff return by Finley Graham.
And a nice drive, Jeff, a nice sustained drive.
The big play was the 3rd down conversion, 3rd and 8, and an 11-yard pass to Keon Zipper. That's the big play of that drive.
Howard set to hold things for Jace Hohenthaler.
Your boy Jace, when you were gone last week, had a rough night. He missed a few extra points.
I saw
Hopefully
it.
he'll be back on point with you here tonight, Tim.
Yeah, bad snap, but
That's
got down and good. Good job of concentrating by Jace Hohenthaler.
Good job by the holder.
It was actually tipped, the ref said, but it still had enough height to get through as you see the touchdown,
holder
Jahari
first
Martin.
bobbled, but then he kept his composure and got the ball set for Jace. Well, Tim, we talked about key to victory was playing clean tonight. No, limit the penalties and no turnovers. So far, I don't think there's been a penalty call on either team tonight. So a very clean game. Give Lakeland kudos to that. We're a quarter and a half into the game. And at this point last week, I think we had 10 penalties already, Tim. And so much better from that perspective. And we did have the 1 fumble exchange. It could have been disastrous, but we were able to recover it and convert the 4th and 4. So actually, that was a big play. We converted 4th and 4 in that drive on the carry by Bowman, and then the 3rd and 8, or 3rd and 9, you had the pass to Zipper. So a couple of big conversions there.
I like how the Knots kept their composure on offense, didn't look panicked, and took it down the field and put 7 on the board as Jace Hohenthaler set at the 40 now to boot this thing away.
That's going to be out of bounds. And that's
And they're going to call a flag before. I think it was offsides by the Knots. They jumped ahead of Hohenthaler, so he'll have to step back a few yards and re-kick this one.
But now, can they decline that one and take the other penalty? I don't think they're going to give them the option.
No, I think I think this
because
penalty was
if you could,
first.
I think you would take that one because that's going to get the ball the 35 or 40. But
it's going to be a mandatory
false
re-kick.
Start on
Penalty is
offsides. The Dreadnoughts.
5-yard penalty.
Of course, you never know. We're used to the Polk County Referee Association all year long, pretty much the regular season. But these playoff games, you get arrested in a different county. So obviously we're playing Plant out of Hillsboro. So so tonight these refs are neither from Polk County or Hillsboro County.
Quick thanks to Wing House for providing some press box food tonight. The press box sponsor, Wing House. Visit them at South Florida Avenue here in Lakeland.
Great kick by Hohenthaler that time.
It was deep, caught by that Wilbon, who's going to get pinned over on the sideline.
22-yard line. Great job
Good special
that time
teams,
by
yeah.
the special teams unit.
And you have a deep little
Kickoff
extra
coverage for
kick.
Lakeland.
They did well that time.
Just as a point of interest for golf fans out there, just got an update on my phone saying that Phil Mickelson fended off Tiger Woods in 22 holes to win their match today. So went extra holes, overtime if you will. And Phil gets a cool $9 million.
Good grief.
And that made-for-TV special.
That's awesome.
So I want to give a shout-out to our good friend Keith Corney, who's watching the game up in the mountains of Tennessee. Glad you're joining us tonight, Keith.
Gleason calls for the ball here. Oh, Wilbon runs right into the Dreadnought defense. No gain. Maybe a loss by Martin.
Scores a touchdown, and then the first play from scrimmage makes a great tackle.
doing it all. Tonight's game of the 2018 FHSA Class 7A Football Championship is sponsored by the Florida High School Athletic Association. The FHSAA is a democratic organization with a membership of more than 800 middle and senior high schools, all committed to ensuring that Florida student athletes can compete fairly and equitably in an educational environment. Gleason hands off to Wilbon again, and nice tackle right there. A good shift by Lloyd Summerall. Shifted his body completely over and got in front of Wilbon and just took the blow, but knocked him down. About 4 or 5 yard gain, but still a 3rd and 7. We're getting the Plant Panthers a lot of 3rd and longs, Jeff.
Yep, that's what the Dreadnought defense does. Is they've been great against the run all year. And Lloyd Summerall, who transferred from Arbondale, has really been coming on the second half of the year. I think he's gotten comfortable in Coach Baldini's system here and has really had some good games here down the stretch.
See what the quarterback's going to do here. Split wide receivers, 2 to each side. The Dreadnought defense shifts to the right. Number 1 goes in motion, rolling out left side. He's going to launch it over, caught. Number 6 takes a shot at the 37, but completes it for a nice first down. Gleason, just a lot of patience kind of rolling out there, Jeff, and just delivered a nice ball.
Jason Hampton with a hit on Leonard Parker, and then brought down also by Curell Hall, but not before they picked up a first down. And that's a great throw by Gleason because he was rolling to his left and threw against his body and just hit Parker right on the number. I said number instead of numbers because he's number 6. But every throw he's made tonight's been just about perfect. They've had some drops and some passes broken up by the Dreadnought defensive backs, but he's been on the money tonight, Tim.
He has. Dreadnoughts up 7-3 here, 6-11 in the second quarter. You're watching the 2018 FHSA Football Regional Final on the Lakeland Football Webcast. We'll be right back. Back here, Bill Castle Field, Bryant Stadium. The Dreadnoughts lead 7-3.
I also just want to remind you once again that General RV is our sponsor tonight for the webcast. We appreciate their support.
Gleason on a fresh set of downs, hands off to number 4. The quarterback keeps to the right side.
Yeah, I don't even think that was a zone read. That was pretty much a quarterback keeper. Oh, he did fake it, but that was a quarterback keeper all the way.
I looked down for a second. I thought he handed off, but he just faked and kept it.
So it's about a 3 or 4 yard gain there for Gleason.
Keeping the defense honest with the quarterback running.
Second and 6, so we'll call it a 4 yard gain.
Definitely some meat up front there for the Plant Panthers. '84 steps aside, motion, fakes the Wilbon, rolls out right side, has pressure, throws it over the middle. Low, almost picked off. Boy, that had a good shot of being picked by number 4.
Kudal Hall, the Dreadnoughts, and that was intended for Leonard Parker. Again, most of his passes so far have been intended for either Caleb Ferris or Leonard Parker, both senior wide receivers. And we had one thrown the way of Jude May, also a senior, so a lot of experience on this.
Q Hall anticipated that and really had the better shot, I think, of getting that ball.
Well, if it was a better throw, it probably would have been picked off. But unfortunately, in that situation for Plant, the ball was low, and Hall was not able to make the catch.
So again, a 3rd and longer than 5. A 3rd and 6 upcoming here for Gleason and company. Let's see what he can muster up. Number 1, Mungeon goes in motion. Roll out right side. He's good on his feet. Throws it. Caught. Inside Dreadnought territory at the 49, I think, is where they're going to mark it.
Number 8 made the catch for Caleb Ferris.
Right at the 50. Boy.
One thing that you're seeing tonight here, Tim, which I think is a slight adjustment for Plant, is they're rolling Gleason out
Gleason's
a
deadly
lot
on the rollout.
On obvious passing. As the first driver, so you didn't see as much of that, but Lakeland got some pressure on him in the pocket, so I think Plant's going ahead and rolling him out, trying to give him a little bit more time before the pressure gets to him.
If you got a quarterback that has that ability to throw on the outside, he's getting outside the pocket and making the Dreadnoughts pay for it. This side, he pulls and keeps, and then he's going to take a good hit at the 49, maybe a half-yard gain at the most.
Tim, one thing in these kind of games like this where the fast-moving, not a lot of penalties, a lot of running, so the clock's moving, is you don't have a lot of possessions. So every possession is crucial. It's not like a game where each team's going to have maybe 10 or 12 possessions. You're looking at maybe 6 or 7 possessions. And so crucial, every possession that you make count on offense and on defense. If you can force a field goal, if they get down there like on the last time, that's a major win, for Lakeland.
Ball inside, just inside Dreadnought territory at the 49. Gleason's in the shotgun, 4 yards deep. Calls for the ball, fakes to Wilbon. Going to roll out, keep it himself. He gets to the outside, but nice tackle.
Khalil Crawford again. Having a good game, and Gleason is getting up slowly. And he might have to come out for a play. It's going to be a 3rd down and about 4. And he's going to have to come out for a play. Of course, if you Plant, you could burn a timeout. I think you still have all your timeouts, and it's only 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. So,
well, Khalil just put all his weight, obviously, in bringing him down. And sometimes, his ligaments, those knees, if they're just turned the wrong way, can really pop or hopefully he's not injured. But
this offense that they're running tonight, if you're a Gator fan, might look familiar because it's kind of a version of what Dan Mullen likes to do, what they call a power spread. Not necessarily a quick or fast quarterback, but a big quarterback who can run and be physical. And that's kind of what Gleason is.
Yeah, with this injury timeout, we'll go ahead and take one ourselves. You're watching the 2018 FHSA Football Regional Final on the Lakeland Football Webcast.
Few law firms can pinpoint an exact moment that inspired its founding purpose. For Smith, Fedler & Smith, it was 1942 when H. Guy Smith's uncle was paralyzed after a fall in a sawmill. He died 14 months later, leaving behind a family in need. The loss inspired Smith to found his law firm to fight for the rights of workers, the injured, and their families. To this day, Smith, Fedler & Smith.
Back here, cut back it in. Wilbon gets the handoff from the quarterback. In fact, Gleason did step out.
But the second effort, he's going to still be a little bit short. I mean, they had him stopped about 3 yards short of the first down, but his second effort gets him down to the 41-yard line.
They're a good half.
That's a full yard short,
yeah.
More than a full yard. It's about, now they brought it all the way back. Okay. I thought they had him down. I think they were going to say his forward progress was stopped there. The whistle blew before he ended up falling all the way forward to about the 41.
Wiener's talking to the referee right now.
2.5.
And they still have the backup quarterback in their number 5, Jude May.
They're not going to snap the ball. They're trying to get Lakeland to jump.
Yeah. They just stepped up the line, maybe trying some of our own tricks on us, but Wiener's just waiting, and he's going to call a timeout, I think. And he does.
Yeah, they're let's see, they're on the 42, so it's about just over two yards.
Big chess match. What do you do here?
2.5. Oh, they're going for it. No doubt in my mind they're going to go for it. I mean, I guess they could punt the ball. You're only down by 4. I mean, if Lakeland stuffs you, then Lakeland's going to have the ball almost at midfield with 3 minutes to go. And
I would go.
This is a crucial play. Remember, Lakeland gets the ball to start the third quarter.
Yeah.
So if they stuff you here and they, score, and then basically you could be down 14-3, potentially 21-3 before you really get the ball again if Lakeland's able to have a 3-minute driver. So crucial decision here by Coach Weiner and Plant.
I do like the idea of going, though. I mean, I think when you come into Bryant Stadium, Bill Castle Field, you got to keep some kind of momentum. The only way you can do that is by, I think, being a little risky. And on a 4th and 2, in fact, the backup quarterback, Jude May, is going to try to pick up this first down on a 4th and 2. Huge play, as Jeff just said, with 3:09 left in the second quarter. Gleason with the injury, don't know how severe it was, went down 3 plays ago. And May in at quarterback in a shotgun formation. May rolls out left side, pitch inside to Wilbon, and he spins and's got the first down.
No, I don't know. It's going to be close.
We'll see where they mark his knee.
The one guy spotting it just outside the 40. They're going to have to measure that.
Oh, my. That is.
It's going to be a matter of an inch either way.
And tuck.
Just bring the chain out here.
I mean, that. Yeah.
No, they said we don't need to measure. It is short.
That's huge.
Because it was, I guess he's right. There's no need to measure. The ball is spotted outside the 40, and the chain is right on the 40.
Wilbon got hit, spun around, but he's had a good second and third efforts tonight. Tried to spin back and throw the ball over, but I think his knee was down, Jeff, and that's what the ref saw.
If they had tackled him clean, then he would have been a full yard short. But the second effort got. But see, now the ball's resting on the 40. So that's what Coach Weiner's saying. Why aren't you measuring it? And he has a good point. Initially, they had it spotted. It was not touching the white line, but now it's touching the white line. I mean, I don't blame Coach Weiner. I mean, if I was him, I'd be demanding a measurement as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really no reason not to measure.
Yeah. So Robert Weiner is coming out to talk to the ref.
But wait, hold on a second, Tim. At this point, if they measure, now it's going to look like it's good first down because they already moved the chains about 2 inches the other direction for Lakeland to take possession of the ball.
Yeah.
So at this point, I don't see how you can go back and measure.
No, it's not going to go back and measure. It's Lakeland's ball, but it's where I think they're going to mark this to start with. But they can't go back after they made the call.
Yeah.
And it was they made the call, no measurement.
But I don't blame
the ball.
Plant for being upset because how do you not measure? On the one hand, I understand it looks like you don't need to because the ball was not touching the white line. But on the other hand, it's that close. I mean, why not measure? It takes an extra minute,
Yeah.
I mean, he is hot. He's all the way out, on the middle of the field as the Lakeland fans are booing. By the way, is it Weiner or Weiner?
Weiner.
Coach Weiner, okay. Because Coach Weiner was whining there a little bit. But I don't blame him. That's a close call there.
Lakeland Dreadnoughts, 3:02 to work with, plenty of time. As Ski McWilliams is going to call for the ball, and they're going to say it's a timeout? Dreadnoughts. Interesting call, Coach Castle. Now maybe seeing his team was a little amped up too much, trying to settle them back down on offense after that exchange.
Yeah, but also, let's keep it here. Also, that play there, that's the old shovel pass. That's another play that Gator fans are used to seeing in their offense. So, interesting. Definitely seeing some similarities between this Plant offense and the Gator offense. For those of you Gator not fans watching, I know we also have a lot of Seminole and Hurricane fans, of course, watching. And
of course, rivalry
teams,
weekend.
Big
big USF, UCF, Florida State, Florida.
High noon tomorrow, the Noles and the Gators.
All kinds of big ins here tomorrow.
But that's, a great play call by Plant. That's something you see a lot. And like you said, in the second effort, he was very close to getting it, but stopped just short.
Dreadnought defense prevailed. Again, 3:02. McWilliams is going to fake on the option. He's going to keep it and get pushed out of bounds around the 43. Picks up a couple yards. Long run to pick up 3 yards, but
good decision there by McWilliams. They were playing the pitch.
Yeah.
If he tried to pitch it could have been disastrous.
I agree with you.
So smart play there. Got 4 yards. I'll take that. Want to give a shout out to our good friend Keith Deloach, who texted and saying that he's over at the beach watching the game in the webcast, along with Michelle and Max. Glad you guys are watching the game. Go Knots, as he said in his text.
2nd down and 6 with a 4-yard pickup on the quarterback keeper. McWilliams is going to be about 4.5 yards deep. Bowman on his left side. Bowman comes under center, spins 50, Down inside Plant territory. Bowman with a nice hard short run, but picks up the first down. Moves the chains, takes time off the clock. Beautiful.
If Lakeland, even a field goal would be nice to get a 7-point lead. If they can get points in the last minute of this half, and then basically, get the ball, then not give Plant any time left to really do anything, and then they get the ball to start the third quarter. I mean, this is setting up what could be very nice for Lakeland.
Have to execute though, and just I think number 65 for Plant was trying to get off the field here, and he does so fine. McWilliams calls for the ball, some movement. They fire it over to Howard. Howard's got some room. Jukes makes one man miss down near the 30-yard line.
I was just about to say, I was waiting for Coach Castle to throw the ball out to the wide receivers. Plant, the cornerbacks are playing like 10 yards off of him.
I noticed that too.
And I was just waiting to see a wide receiver screen, and great play call there by Coach Castle.
Well, that's going to loosen up things for the backs too, especially Bowman, if you start hitting some of those wide receivers.
I'm not really sure why they were playing so much off of him, unless they're afraid of a big pass play. But Lakeland runs the ball so much, you think you want the cornerbacks up playing man, so they're more in position to help with the against the run.
West and Howard to the near side. Lone setback. It's Bowman flanked with McWilliams. Fakes, throws it over short. May have been tipped even. Tried to get it to Howard out in the flat. I like that idea, as you said, kind of exploiting how far they took two wide receivers and drove them out. So the cornerbacks were driven all the way around the 15-yard line, and Howard really had a lot of room if he could have caught the ball.
That's number 2, Christian Carval with the, I'm not sure if he got his fingers on it or just, maybe McWilliams threw a tough pass as he was jumped up right as McWilliams threw that ball. Nonetheless, give him credit for that defensive play.
McWilliams on a 2nd down and 10 now with just over 2 minutes left is going to roll to the right side. He's going to keep it. Nice move. There's a flag on the play.
Flag.
Back at the 35, and that one probably
That might be the first flag of the night.
Yeah.
First or second. Got about 5 yards on that play, but I'm sure that's going to be against Lakeland. Let's see. The way it was thrown, I don't think, unless it was holding on a receiver, it was thrown by a side judge. I wonder if it's some kind of a legal procedure or something like that. Maybe not enough men lined up in the line of scrimmage. If it was holding, like I said, it would have to be
kind of thrown
on the receiver. It couldn't be against one of the offensive linemen. My guess is it's not holding, but let's see. Offsides maybe? I guess Plant? I don't think so.
Still waiting for the call.
A false start. Obviously they're going to accept it. They want 2nd and 15, not 3rd and 5. Well, I don't know. I guess you might. But now you got to accept that.
Penalty is an illegal formation against the Dreadnoughts.
Okay, after this next play, we'll go down to Savannah Taylor for a sideline report.
So then I'll get pushed back 5 yards. No gain on the first down, 2nd and 15 upcoming with just under 2 minutes, still 1:43.
They're just
Howard,
player
Zipper,
late.
and kind of a little bit of miscommunication by the receivers.
McWilliams keeps it.
Job by the quarterback of
Nice
sticking it in the
pick
breadbasket
there,
and pulling it back out of Bowman's gut.
One of the first times that's really worked tonight. Let's
Yeah.
go down to Savannah Collins on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I'm with Alante Taylor, who was on the team in 2015, the last time Lakeland beat Plant in the playoffs. Alante, what is a moment from that game that really sticks out to you and you remember?
The moment I most enjoy the most is getting that victory at the end, getting that W, just knowing we advanced to the next round and just securing that win.
Absolutely, and this is a big rivalry. There's a lot of history between these two teams. How do you think being at home and in this atmosphere at Bryant Stadium plays into a win?
It plays a big atmosphere. All the alumni, they get to come back. They get to enjoy the new atmosphere with the young guys. Being that they're undefeated, they get that good undefeated feeling. So it's just a good feeling for everybody to come back and get.
Absolutely, and you were a cornerback here at Lakeland. The defense is obviously playing well tonight. They've kept the Panthers out of the red zone. What do you think is something Lakeland's going to have to do well to stay on top?
More so O-line, D-line in the trenches. You get the trenches going good, everything else should fall in place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining me. He's at Bethune-Cookman now and is a communications major, so maybe he'll be on this side of the microphone next time you see him.
Hell Wildcats.
Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Thanks to Savannah and
Thanks, Savannah.
Monte Taylor.
Good insight there as the Dreadnoughts pick up the first down. A nice run by Bowman. Again, Bowman's got it. Left side, cut back. Bowman trips down inside the 5 to the 4. He wanted that one. He did not want to fall down.
We're under a minute to go here in the second quarter. This is shaping up perfectly. Tim, we can punch this in, go up 14-3 into the halftime break, and then we get the ball to start this third quarter. I mean, this second quarter could not have gone better if you're a Dreadnought fan, Tim.
Not that you have enough time, but you can actually pick up the first down here with a 2nd and 2. As Coach Castle throws the hat down. As the refs stopped play.
Yeah, I think Coach Castle wanted to timeout to save time. It's our second timeout, so we only have one timeout left now. The ball's at the 5, so 2nd and 2. So basically at this point, you can run the ball and still have one timeout. Then at that point, you probably have to throw the ball. I'll take a shot at, running one more play and then you're getting tackled on that. So at this point, 2nd and 2.
Is that Marquise or Michael? One of the Pouncey.
Yeah, one of the Pouncey twins. So at this point, if you wanted to run the ball or on 2nd down, you could do that. And then if you get, if you don't score a touchdown, get out of bounds, use your last timeout. And then you could throw the ball, 3rd down. Then on 4th down, so they got some options here with one timeout still.
2nd down and 2. Wow.
Touchdown!
Jahari Martin again. Just pushing him.
Jahari Martin is not going to be stopped tonight in those short yardage plays.
He just blew through one of the Panthers at the 2-yard line. Hey, something to said about strength and youth, huh?
No doubt about it.
Jahari Martin goes in for a 2nd touchdown. There's a Lakeland Dreadnought down inside the south end zone. One of the linemen, maybe. Just taking a brief moment. Can't quite see. Trying to assess.
One of the players is down for the Dreadnoughts.
They pull him up though, and seems to be
big number 51. That's one of our best offensive linemen, Alik St. Aim. Hopefully he'll be able to play in the second half. That would be a big loss if he's out, but it looks like he's okay.
That's good. Fantastic.
Jace Hohenthaler's on to attempt the extra point, trying to make it 14-3.
They got one of those stingers right there on the hip.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay.
Dreadnoughts trying to go 14-3. Jace Hohenthaler. Howard gets it down. Up. Boy, Jace kicked that one high. Got some altitude on that one. With 16 seconds, timed pretty well, Jeff Goddard.
Yeah, you wanted to probably do some kind of a squib kick here. You don't want to risk a big return by Plant. Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Bob Madden, the patriarch of the Madden family. He turns 80 next month. They're having an early birthday celebration tonight in Atlanta. All 4 of his kids and all 23 of his grandkids are there for Thanksgiving, so having an early birthday celebration. As you see, our webcast sponsor tonight, the General RV Center. And I'll be interviewing Charlie Hall at halftime as he's up in the press box now. But just want to give a shout out to Bob Madden. Happy early birthday. And 4 of his grandsons have played for Lakeland. John Michael Madden, Chase Madden, George Madden, and Robert Madden.
That's awesome.
And Thomas Madden's played JV and might be in varsity next year, hopefully. Just want to give a shout out to the entire Madden family. Of course, Steve is our Booster Club president. Has done a great job. And they're all watching tonight at Bob's early birthday party. So shout out to you, Mr. Madden, and the entire Madden clan. Hope you guys are having a great Thanksgiving and great night tonight. I know you're enjoying the game here as Lakeland's up 14-3.
Jeff is going to interview Charlie and the first part of the Harry Seafood halftime show, and then I'll come back with Fred Lopez to kind of wrap up the first half here.
Get some insights from Fred.
Round it out. He's been studying.
Radio announcer for the Dreadnoughts.
Line drive kick caught at
his knee hit the ground. Absolutely, yes, sir.
At around the 17-yard line.
That's a perfect kick by Jace Hohenthaler.
That worked. They're going to mark it near the 16, so that's good.
Over the last couple of weeks, a lot of friends and family members have asked me, what I think about the Dreadnoughts and the chances this year. And to me, this is the thing that's different. It's just the defense. And last couple of years, you certainly thought you could beat Plant, and you hoped to beat Plant. But this year, at least from my perspective, as an announcer, obviously I'm not a player, I'm not a coach, I'm not a practice or anything, but just as an announcer, this year, Tim, I expect us to win this game. But the last couple of years, I thought we might could win it, and I hope we could win. And the reason that belief is just, well, two things really. A, and first and foremost, is the defense, but then secondly, also DeMarcus Bowman is just playing lights out football this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's special.
And the offensive line has been really, really solid this year, maybe a little bit better than the past couple of years.
When you go 7-8 games and teams are scoring 3 points, 6 points, and that's sometimes with your second, third team defense.
2 teams have scored double digits all year.
I know, it's crazy.
2 teams all year.
That really shows you how consistent they've been and no real let up. And so I agree with you. Defense does win championships. I think you have to have that core solid defense. We've got it this year with not a really weakness. And the cornerbacks even stepping up as the Dreadnoughts just have to fend off 10 seconds here. And the starting quarterback's just going to take a knee, and he's good to see him back in the game. That's Tucker Gleason. But that'll do it for the first half for the Dreadnoughts with a nice little late flurry going up 14-3.
Great first half for Lakeland, clean. I think 1 penalty, and then Plant just had 1 penalty, so both teams have played clean. No turnovers so far. Just Lakeland has been able to score touchdowns both times they've been in the red zone. Plant's had to settle for a field goal, and then in their most recent drive, of course, if you Plant, maybe a couple controversial spots, and no measurement.
Interesting.
No measurement, and but Lakeland, made the plays on defense, got the ball back to their offense, and your score at halftime: Lakeland 14, Plant 3. So no incorrect performance tonight because it's holiday week with Thanksgiving. So we'll take a short commercial break. Your score at halftime: Lakeland 14, Plant 3. Tonight's webcast brought to you by the General RV Center. We'll come back with my interview with Charlie Hall, the corporate finance manager for the General RV Center, as the Harry's Seafood halftime show rolls on.
Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveFordExcellence.com for official rules. The 25th Annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different, and we prove it.
This is what you expect.
Well, don't worry. The whole family's going to like this. It's not going to be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. It's beautiful. Oh, don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're going to handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
Finding qualified staff isn't easy. Sifting through resumes, verifying candidates, conducting interviews, and running a business? Who has time? You need Staff Builders HR. Whether you're looking for 1 person or 500, we don't use hope. We use science, evaluating data from more than 2.5 million resumes to find you the perfect employee. Staff Builders HR, the science of matching great people with great companies.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Few law firms can pinpoint an exact moment that inspired its founding purpose. For Smith, Fedler, and Smith, it was 1942 when H. Guy Smith's uncle was paralyzed after a fall in a sawmill. He died 14 months later, leaving behind a family in need. The loss inspired Smith to found his law firm to fight for the rights of workers, the injured, and their families. To this day, Smith, Fedler, and Smith remains committed to his mission. Smith, Fedler, and Smith.
All right, Jeff Goddard back with you on the Harry Seafood Halftime Show. My guest tonight is longtime Lakeland booster Charlie Hall.
Hey, Jeff.
He's a corporate finance director with General RV Center, and they so kindly have our sponsor tonight for the webcast. We appreciate that, Charlie.
Thank you, Jeff.
You getting that set up? So tell me a little bit about General RV Center. When did they open, and tell me some about your history there.
Yeah, absolutely. We're the nation's largest family-owned RV dealership in the country. We opened in 1966. Actually, before that, we were a mobile gas station.
Okay.
And started selling travel trailer RVs in 1966 and just kind of grew and grew from there. And we're about to open our 13th dealership in Ocala, Florida, December 1st.
Nice. And what are some other states you guys are in? Because, of course, we have Lakeland fans all over the country who watch the webcast. Besides Florida, obviously the one here in Florida now is in Dover, and you're about to open the one in Ocala. Where's some other states where you guys have locations at?
Sure, yeah, we actually have 3 in Florida once the Ocala store opens. We got Jacksonville, Dover, Tampa, and then Ocala. We are based out of Michigan.
Okay.
We've got stores in Ohio, Utah, Illinois, and Richmond, Virginia now.
So mainly kind of the Midwest with Virginia, then Florida. How'd you guys end up in Florida, I wonder?
Well, we started in the Midwest, but this whole Tampa market is kind of RV central.
Okay.
It's kind of the hottest place for RVs in the country, so we had to get our foot in the door here and kind of try to take over
there
the
are some
market.
other competitors here in Tampa. We won't mention them by name, but yeah.
There's a few competitors, but they're having a little trouble now that we're here and
Yeah,
established.
of course.
So.
Well, I think, obviously Florida, you have great weather, year-round, so I think it lends itself to being a big market for RVs probably, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We've got great camping weather all year round here, and every day is a great day to buy an RV.
Sure.
So.
Now, in addition to buying RVs, I know you guys have a full service department. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have over 500 service bays nationwide. We have the nation's most award-winning service department, definitely best in this market. Our Ocala store is going to have 40 service bays for our customers. We get people in and out. We actually have same-day service if it's a camping critical issue. If it's something that prevents you from camping this weekend, we get you in the same day and out the same day.
Now, of course, I'm sure most of the time, all the time, people bring their RVs or motorhomes, whatever, to your location. But do you guys do any mobile service at all? Or?
Not out of our Tampa location. Some of our stores do, and we will have that in the future. We're in the process right now of adding an additional 80 service bays in Tampa. Once we get that done, we will have a mobile service.
I got you. Do you guys also service ones that you don't sell, only ones that you guys have sold?
Oh, absolutely. We help anybody from the local market anywhere in the country. We get lots of folks from all over the country who bought their RV at other places. We're happy to take care of them as well.
And now, does General RV, do they manufacture any RVs themselves, or they sell other brands that other companies manufacture, or both?
We buy direct from the manufacturer. We don't manufacture anything ourselves at this time. One thing that we do is we don't have any floor plan. We do not finance our RVs. Every RV is owned 100% by General RV. Most dealers floor plan their RVs. We own the dirt, the buildings, and the RVs. So.
Excuse me. Okay, very nice. And you guys do accessories and other stuff as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a full parts and service department. We can get anything for your RV you see online, Amazon, any of that stuff. We've got it right there in store for you, or we can get it quickly. And, of course, we have an amazing service department.
Great. And you said you guys, I know with your job as the corporate financer, you guys also do financing for people, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We're your one-stop shop for any RV purchase. We handle the sales, service, parts. We do financing, insurance, everything. You walk in, we take care of you. You leave with an RV, and you're 100% satisfied.
So one thing I also want to ask you, one last question about the RV Super Center is what is the fifth wheel? I've heard of a fifth wheel before, and I read it in the script, but I've heard of it before, but what exactly is the fifth wheel for any of our listening audience?
Absolutely.
In addition to me who might be curious.
Sure. Actually, when I started in the business, I was a little curious myself. So a travel trailer hooks up to the bumper of your truck.
Okay.
A fifth wheel actually has a hitch that's installed in the bed of your truck, and the hitch for the fifth wheel comes down into the bed of the truck.
So you have a pickup truck for a fifth wheel?
A fifth wheel is usually a little bit heavier and also has a little bit more room to it, too.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Charlie, for... Can you hear the question? Michael, just for our audience, Michael was saying he read an article online saying that over 1 million people live in RVs now because they want to be able to travel. Can you talk to that? And do you guys get many people coming in who actually live in them as opposed to just, for recreation purposes?
Absolutely, yeah. Especially here in our Florida market, we get a lot of seasonal customers who are coming down from the northern states and spending some time in Florida during the nice season down here. We have a ton of people who leave them in local parks and everything, so they've got a house up north and then they've got another house here, which is their RV. We have a lot of other customers who just love to travel. If you don't like your neighbor, you can move.
Yeah.
So
have a new neighbor every day, right?
That's right. They're retiring and hitting the road. So we have a ton of customers. We have financing available for all full-timers as well, too.
And do you guys see it all when the price of gas fluctuates a lot up or down? Does that affect at all how much business you get in terms of people being concerned about the price of gas with RVs, or not really?
It can. Just like anything else, the price of any commodity can affect the business. But as a company, we try to make sure we're ahead of that, and we're always pricing aggressively, and we're there to make sure that we're dominating the market, taking market share. We're going to earn your business regardless of any market conditions.
I got you. So as I mentioned, you're a longtime Dreadnought booster and a big Lakeland fan. So what are your thoughts, A, on the season this year, and then specifically the first half in this big game against Plant tonight?
Sure. For the season, this is the best Lakeland team I've seen since probably 2006.
I agree.
Absolutely dominant on defense. The offensive line's doing great. We got a great running back, and Ski McWilliams is doing good under center. So
I agree with that analysis. I think that's spot on. The defense is, to me, the difference.
Unbelievable this year.
The front seven has been absolutely dominant. And in the past years, one thing I've noticed, we've had some smallish linebackers.
Right.
I mean, they've been good, but this year we got thumpers back there at linebacker.
That's right.
To me, that's made a little bit of a difference.
It's tough for you and me to talk about smallish linebackers, but yes, absolutely. We do have some thumpers back there. And the defense has been absolutely dominant. Our defensive line, we can rotate in 6 or 8 guys that are just putting pressure on the quarterback.
And I'm glad, and Tim and I were talking about that a while ago, I'm glad you mentioned the offensive line. I think the offensive line is a little bit better than it's been the past couple of years as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I think, and they seem to get better as the year goes on, regardless of the circumstances, and I think that's due to coaching. But, yeah, those guys seem to just hit their stride right as we get to playoffs every year.
Yeah, and if you can win the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, you're going to win most games.
That's it every time, especially against a team like Plant, who is equally talented on both sides of the ball.
No doubt. So real quick, your thoughts on the first half tonight? Tough, close game so far. Lakeland's fortunate to be able to get the lead there, and now we get the ball to start the third quarter.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the Finley Graham return, where he caught the ball right at the goal line and was able to return it to give us some momentum. We ended up scoring after that. I think that was huge. The biggest thing in the second half is we've seen this movie before where we're up on Plant, and then the second half sort of flips the script a little bit there. So we got to make sure we keep our foot on the gas here and get some points in the second half.
Yeah, the kickoff return was huge. Allowed us to have a short field to get the lead. Also, I think the fact that, we're playing so disciplined that it's important because Plant historically is a very disciplined team.
Absolutely.
Obviously last week was kind of disaster penalties, but tonight Lakeland looks very crisp and very focused, which is also tough on a Thanksgiving week when you haven't been in school week. But kudos to Coach Castle and his staff for having the guys dialed and ready to go tonight.
Absolutely. It's always amazing to me when you see a bunch of 15, 16, 17-year-old kids who barely practice and then have to step up to the challenge under this kind of pressure, and they just seem to rise to the occasion. And hope they keep their flags in their pockets the second half.
Yeah, the referee crew has been good tonight. Let the guys play, and everything has been great.
Absolutely.
So, Charlie Hall, thanks again for being my guest on the Harry Seafood Halftime Show. Once again, if you have any RV needs, make sure to check out
General RV
Supercenter in Dover, right off I-4, and soon to be in Ocala as well. We'll take a short commercial break. When we come back, Tim Conti will have Fred Lopez with continued analysis of the first half.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone, to the press box at Bryant Stadium. Tim Conti, Fred Lopez joining me for first half analysis. And, these are special times for us. Dreadnought fans, we love these games. And this is a good football game. If you just like really good football. And we have a couple really interesting, you kind of dug in there and found some special statistics and things that are in reach for a couple of our players. Talk a little bit about some of these records that are a possibility coming up here.
Well, there's two records that we're really interested in paying attention to tonight, and that's the single-season touchdown record and the single-season rushing record. And Bowman is knocking on both of those.
Wow.
The last time this happened, it was Stuart Butler, who actually had 3,000 yards in 1 year, which is in less than 15 games, which was truly amazing. So he's the only running back we've got. A lot of people might be thinking Chris Rainey broke that record, but it wasn't. It was Stu Butler, and he had well over 2,000 yards.
That's unbelievable. Yeah.
And Bowman's got a little over 1,800 yards for the season, and I think he's got 66 yards.
Yeah, 10 carries, 66 tonight.
Approximately about that much.
Interesting fact is the only one that's got more rushing yards than him is the quarterback for Plant. Gleason has 67 yards.
That's it.
So a lot, and it's kind of remained to be seen, Fred. He did a lot of work on his legs, had a little bit of an injury there.
He did.
Hard to say how much that's going to affect his second half play, but this is a game that's just being hard fought in the trenches too.
It really is, and this Lakeland team this week is a much different team than last week. And of course, you never want to play the same team twice in Kathleen. But I was hoping that we would come out and play much more disciplined football in a very important playoff game, and the guys so far have responded, especially on defense.
And you were saying, even though it's a different ref corps, noticeable difference from last week into the level of play and just you can tell that they're focused. I mean,
they're very
they
focused.
have to be in these games.
Yes.
You really can't. Jeff and I were talking about how you don't get a lot of possessions in these games. So every possession is very important.
Very important. So you got to be careful of penalties, and then we got to win the war on the line of scrimmage, and it looks like we're holding our own there. And I would like to see us be a little bit more balanced on offense, but Coach, when he game plans and he knows what he wants to do, we're really running the ball. But Dreadnought fans, you probably have seen some very important passes at key times tonight. And I was hoping to see some of that to loosen the defense up a little bit. And those passes were very timely and very important in those drives that we needed.
Well, one play that I thought was very timely but poorly executed was that screen pass to Bowman. Just a little high, and you could tell in his eyes, he's just like, I want that back so bad.
He got kind of discouraged on that.
Yeah, he got discouraged. If he would have had momentum and caught the ball, he had a big core of blockers in front of him, that would have been a special play. But, you keep plugging away, and like I said, Coach Castle puts in those plays just at the right time. Fred, you could go so many ways in a game plan with all these weapons.
He's got a lot of offense. And Dreadnought fans, trust me when I tell you, he's got way more offense than you're seeing on the field.
Yeah.
They're very capable. But he goes by feel and he goes by momentum. And, he's going to run those plays that he's really comfortable with. But he's got the firepower. I mean, my goodness, our number, one of the top recruits in the country, our tight end. I mean, he's an amazing go-to threat in the air, and we did utilize him once tonight. Yeah. I'd like to see him get the ball a little bit more just to loosen that defense up, but I wanted to mention the touchdown record. So Bowman's got 29 touchdowns on the season, and the single-season record is held by Stuart Butler and Keith Price at 31 touchdowns. So we're interested in those two things, the yardage and the touchdowns. Kind of interesting.
Now you think he's a little, I wouldn't say upset, but Jahari Martin is getting some of those touchdowns close with that hammer formation, number 19, who normally plays defense. So Bowman's like, I can take it in there and do that, but Coach Castle's going with what he thinks is going to work.
I always like to say, the kids may be thinking about records, but Coach Castle ain't. He's thinking about touchdowns. He wants 6 points.
That's it right there. It's down to
he could care less about statistics.
No. If it happens, great. But
he used to always tell me stats will get you beat.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He never pays attention to that stuff. Yeah, he says the only stat that matters is the W.
So, in your opinion, we're talking about, and a lot of anticipation about the Dreadnoughts, obviously, for the remainder of this season. Last year against Plant, last couple of years, we thought they could possibly win and go into the playoffs. This year, it's expected because of that defense. I mean, when you got that solid of a defense, you look back at the last 7 or 8 games, you look at what they've been able to hold the other teams to.
Right.
Defense does win championships, bottom line. And so talk a little bit about the defense and how good they're doing this year.
Well,
in your opinion.
The front seven has just been very, very stingy all year long. And there's just an attitude about the defense, how they don't want to give up yardage, they don't want to give up points.
I like that attitude.
There's just been a big-time attitude about that. And I've just noticed a different team. And offensively, we're getting it done. I mean, we've got size, we've got power. And when we play disciplined football on offense, we're going to move the chains.
Yeah.
We're not throwing it. We're not as balanced as teams in the past,
right.
championship teams in the past when we've made our run. But I think that we're playing about as good a defense as I've seen us play.
Yeah.
But again, it boils down to discipline, lack of penalties. I love that fourth down fake that Plant was. They were hoping we'd jump off sides and we didn't. Yeah. That showed a lot of character on the defensive side of the football.
I think so too. Yeah.
And then they came off. So they've done a few. That goal line, the stance down there where we only gave up 3 points instead of when the quarterback broke that long run.
Yeah.
I thought a demoralized defense would have let them go on in and score.
Yeah.
We stopped them, held them to a key field goal.
Yep.
That could prove to be very important at the end of the game. Remember I said that, Dreadnought fans.
Obviously, we had Zipper with the big play, but talk a little bit about that fourth down stop. A little bit not controversy, I wouldn't say, but interesting spot there.
Well, and listen, it's not home cooking because they're not our refs.
Right.
They're not from this area.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
They called it like they saw it, and we've had calls like that go against us. Their fans weren't happy. Their coach wasn't happy, but. That's
always a little bit of that human element in football.
It has happened to us on numerous occasions, and you don't like the calls, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
And nonetheless, the Dreadnoughts putting on a good show tonight. My brother's here with his boys, and so I also brought a guest down. He's like, they live in South Carolina, and just they have football, but he's in awe of the show.
That's it.
The whole entirety of what is Dreadnought football, and so he's really impressed. And if you haven't seen a game here live, we'd love you to see the webcast, of course.
My goodness.
You know the feeling that's here in this field, and great crowd tonight.
This is the best crowd we've had all year. By far, potentially the best crowd we've had in years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is really full. The home side is packed to capacity. We've got the
proud of the
Panthers.
fans.
Yeah, they brought some fans and showed a lot of character and class when we were waving our cell phones to the hospital. That was really nice.
That is, and Fred's going to stay with me for just a few moments as we get the third quarter underway here. We turn around, and Jeff Goddard's just taking a few-minute break. And the Dreadnoughts, of course, won the coin toss and deferred. So guess what? We scored at the end of the second quarter. We're going to get the ball, Fred, here again to start the third. And maybe had a couple good returns. Let's see if we have the opportunity. They have a good kicker. He's certainly capable of booting it in the north end zone. And we'll see here as he's getting underway. Nice high kick, end over end, and it's going to go right to the end zone. So Fenley Graham tried to jump up there and grab it and wanted to return it, but couldn't quite get his hands on it.
Nope.
So it will be a touchback. The Knots will take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, Castle is a third-quarter football coach. I've said that for years. So
he said I was just about to say.
He's a third-quarter coach, and I tell you, when we usually make our run in the third quarter and put games away, this is usually the quarter where we can ice football games. And in our championship runs in the past, this is the quarter we get it done in. Hopefully it doesn't get to the fourth where we're biting our nails.
Well, I hope not. I'm going to call it, the Swami that number 3 is going to get a big one here in this second half. He's been close. I think he's getting his feet under him. Ski McWilliams keeping it right now. And we've seen that more towards the second half of the season. I think he was kind of nursing that little bit of an injury, Fred.
Yep.
And now that he's healthy, I think he's able to really run and use his legs and that skill position.
Coach loves to utilize the quarterback, especially in his offense, because it's an extra player that you can't defend. And if we get any kind of push up front, we're going to get 5-6 yards a clip. It's kind of boring to watch, but he's got a purpose. He just wants to keep pounding that short yardage, and then one of these drives, Bowman's going to break it.
And he's using some big beef on the offensive line here, trading the tight ends in and out, and having an extra tight end. Right now, we have a 3 wide receiver set, one to the opposite side. As Ski McWilliams calls for the ball, fires it over to Howard.
There's
Howard's
the pass.
got some blocking.
Look at this,
Howard
he's going
down the sideline and gets hit around the 34. Jeff is back from the halftime, and so Fred, thank you for helping me summarize things. That was fun to hear about the stats. Keep us surprised on what's happening with those.
I will keep
He'll be
you
our
guys
guy
abreast.
for the, yeah. Thanks
Go
so
Dreadnoughts.
much.
Go Dreadnought fans.
Fred Lopez giving us some insight as Jeff Goddard steps back in. First down, Dreadnoughts. As Jeff settles back in here, the Knots with the first possession of the second half. McWilliams drops back, Now he's going to be in trouble, and he's going to be brought down. Hold on to that ball. Ski McWilliams is going to be sacked for a big loss. But I'm glad he didn't throw the ball. He thought about it. That was a weird play, Jeff. He kind of undecided there. He wasn't sure what he wanted
to fight another day.
Yeah.
And that play was made by their stud on defense, Sean O'Keefe, their senior linebacker. I think that was, I'm not sure, that may have been like a run pass option. You know, obviously he faked the handoff, could have ran, and he was looking to throw the ball. But at that point, he did the right thing, just eating it, no doubt.
It looked more like an undecisive play, which kind of led to
some uncertainty, no doubt.
Yeah, that uncertainty, exactly what I was thinking. So,
I mean, not trying to be over dramatic here, but Plant Season could be in the line here. They fall down 21-3.
McWilliams now to Bowman. Bowman has a room.
Oh,
Bowman
he's
at
gone!
the 40. Bowman 50. There he goes. We just said it. Bowman to the 20. No one's going to get him. 10 yards away from the nearest defender. Bowman scores.
And he's doing the Gator chop in the end zone. The option play finally hit for Lakeland after a few times tonight, not really getting anything with it. It hits big time, 71 yards. DeMarcus Bowman takes it to the house.
Fred and I were just saying that we feel it. Bowman's getting his feet under him, and he's coming back. I know. We knew that was coming. We both said that Bowman's got his feet under him, and it's only a matter of time here pretty quick in the second half when he was going to break one. So,
and give Castro credit for going back to that play because they tried it once or twice in the first half and never was really there. One time they called it and he couldn't even pitch the ball, as we talked about there in the second quarter. So,
and the Dreadnoughts just keep coming at you. Jace Hohenthaler sneaks it in the left side of the upright, and it is good as the Knots early in the third quarter.
Their first two drives were primarily methodical drives. Of course, the first touchdown was a short field because of the kickoff return by Finley Graham, but we hadn't really had any big plays tonight, and really the only truly big play on offense was the 58-yard keeper by Gleason for Plant.
Yep.
So that's Lakeland's, I would say, probably their first play of more than, 25 yards the whole night?
Yeah, we're talking.
Big time play there.
It's interesting that Bowman only had 66 yards in the first half. Obviously now he's got like 140 something, but and Gleason actually had 67 yards, so he had one more yard than Bowman did in the first half, when most of it was on that 50-whatever yard run that he had. But right there, Bowman sneaks way ahead. It's hard to see what Gleason's going to do with his mobility with that little bit of an injury late in the first half. So we'll see how that affects him. But right now, the Plant Panthers in a little bit of a hole, 21-3. Dreadnoughts with the momentum. The big mo for the whole home team right now. Hohenthaler was set to kick it off. The refs stopped things here for a brief moment. They're going to talk about things at the 10-yard line. Just a quick officials timeout to reset something.
So we talked about when it came down to that fourth down play, do you punt it or do you go for it?
Right.
And we painted a scenario. We said if they go for it and
they almost spelled it out to the T.
And they get stuffed, 3 minutes to go, Lakeland could score, get the ball back to the third quarter, and this has unfolded like a dream if you're a Dreadnought fan and a nightmare if you're a Plant fan.
Jace with the momentum going his way, kicked that one well into the south end zone, so it'll come out to the 20.
And if you're a Plant fan, those two spots on third and fourth down, if they don't stage a dramatic comeback, will be talked about for a long time over in South Tampa. I mean, I remember games back in the 90s that my family still talks about, tough Lakeland playoff losses. Do you remember the game in, 97 or 8 when Jimmy Frizzell got tripped up by the referee?
Oh, that's right.
I was away at college, so I was at the game with my younger brothers and my parents. They still talk about that.
So Tucker Gleason is in the ball game here starting the third quarter. This is their first offensive drive. He drops back. He's going to go deep. He's got a man wide open. Caught at the 50, 40. I don't think anyone's going to get him. Number 1 is going to take it to the house. Smoke Mungen answers for Plant. And that surprised the cornerbacks, I think, for the Dreadnoughts a little bit. They were playing up tight, and the wide receiver just ran right past our cornerbacks.
And he just smoked the Dreadnought secondary.
He did.
It looks like Gleason's okay. Of course, he didn't really have to move at all. He just took the shotgun snap. And
he couldn't have thrown it any better. Like you said, he hadn't been off target on just about anything.
No, Mungen got behind the defense, and it was a perfect pass by Gleason. Hit him in stride. Didn't have to wait for the ball to come back to it. And that's an easy touchdown for Plant.
I wouldn't say lack of fireworks in the first half, but like you said, no big plays. And Jeff, right here, first 2 offensive possessions a 71-yarder, and a, 80-yarder?
And the PAT is good, so 21-10 now. Let's think about football, Tim. Sometimes the first half can look very different than the second half. Second half was both teams having to kind of fight for every yard, methodical drives, except for the one long play by Plant. And all of a sudden, boom, here in the second half, you have fireworks exploding. The long Bowman run and the long touchdown from Gleason to Mungin. So buckle your seatbelts. Looks like we could be in for another classic Lakeland Plant finish.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, Mungin was just, again, 7 to 10 yards clear of our defenders. And so it didn't even have to be a perfect pass, but then you add the perfect pass from Gleason, and that was a recipe for success right there.
That's something that Coach Boldini will talk about with his troops right now in the secondary. They'll make adjustment on that. I'm confident of that. But if you're Lakeland, I mean, now you're only up 11, and you wish you were up 18, but you just got to make Plant drive the field. You just can't give up those kind of plays.
I like how Savannah's right down there watching Coach speak to his defense now and how he's breaking things down. I'm sure she'll give us
the... Coach Boldini right there breaking that down, no doubt about it.
So Finley Graham will have the ability to return this one at the 10-yard line. Takes a stutter step to the outside, cuts back at the 20, and he gets hammered at the 25.
He did a good job keeping the possession of the ball.
Yeah, that was scary. The ball was way outside his body.
Before he got hit there, right before he got tackled, a second before that, one of the Plant guys kind of was trying to rake the ball out of his hands. So good job by Finley keeping the ball there.
He was trying to cut it back to the middle of the field, and in the process, like you said, Jeff, he had that ball hanging way outside his body, and it was dangerous, but held possession. The Knots now back on offense, having a big play from Bowman. There's a player down in special teams, just kind of fell over.
And only is Gleason back in the game for Plant. Also see for Dreadnoughts, Alik St. Aim is back in, so we thought it looked like it was nothing serious, and it was not. He's back in the game, and so that's crucial, no doubt.
Looks like we do have an injury timeout. That's going to be just a few moments. You're watching the 2018 FHSA Football Regional Final on the Lakeland Football Webcast. We'll be right back. Staying here.
So we're just going to...
Just as I say they're down, they pop right up. So, we're getting some other scores here at halftime, 7A. Oh, that's a close game. Bloomingdale 32, Venice 29. It's a big scoring game. St. Thomas 28, Dwyer 0. St. Thomas blanking Dwyer 28-0.
So I guess we don't have a score for Lee Edgewater, which is the game that's most important for us.
Skim McWilliams drops back. Now Coach Castle's going to fire one of his own balls up. Howard didn't even see it, but that was a...
Well, it's almost like he was throwing it down the sideline. You had Jadarian West to the left of Howard. I think he was actually maybe trying to hit West, but just overthrew him significantly.
It's almost the case of anything you can do, I didn't do better on that one, but try, as Coach Castle tries to strike deep on a long pass play, the first attempt we've seen tonight of that kind. So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion.
He threw the ball a little quick there. He needed to hold the ball a little bit longer.
Just a hair longer, right.
Let the play develop.
McWilliams keeps it. That's a nice run by McWilliams. Keep that ball, Ski. Drops down inside Plant territory at about the 48-yard line. Nice keeper by your quarterback.
It's a 29-yard run by Ski McWilliams.
Big run by your quarterback. Boy, that's just so hard to defend when you don't know. You got Bowman and then the quarterback that can do some running now, who's been very effective in the second half of the season with his own legs.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to take some shots here and there, but if you're Lake, you can't get away from what makes you successful. That's the running attack, both of Bowman and McWilliams, and some of the short intermediate passing, which was effective in the first half tonight.
Skim McWilliams saying something to Bowman, checking off. He's going to roll left side, and Bowman's going to try to block for him. Skim McWilliams breaks a tackle. Nice cut by McWilliams. There's a flag on the play as it goes out of bounds near the 25. That's been the backfield.
Back, I'm afraid. That's just a shame. That was a great run by McWilliams. You saw him there really reading his blocking and the nice, as you said,
really slipping
bounced out to
tackles
the left,
too. Yeah.
That is a hole, and we'll be coming back. I don't think it's going to be like 1st and 20 because I do think the hole was a little bit downfield. So we'll see where they spot the ball. My guess is going to be more like 1st and 15 here. But we'll see.
No, I think it's going to be along. They're going to mark it right from.
Oh, actually, it might be worse.
Yeah,
they're going to say it was
Ugh.
Yeah, it's going to be actually that was wrong. It was actually in the backfield. Just it was a late flag is why I thought that because the play was way downfield by the time I don't know if the ref got the flag stuck in his pocket or what, but it was a little bit late coming out. And so actually it's going to be 1st and 23.
Finding the silver lining, though, it is 1st down, so 3 downs to work with. And they not seem to be clicking here on offense a little bit if they don't shoot themselves in the foot. They've had some big plays. McWilliams rolls out right side. He's looking, throws over to the sideline and tried to get Howard and just too low.
Open. He had him open.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and take it down to Savannah Collins for a brief report. Savannah, go ahead.
2nd down and 23.
I'm joined by a man who doesn't need a lot of introduction, Ahmad Black. Ahmad, good to be home, right?
Oh, it's awesome. You know, everybody's so accepting here. I just love coming back to see some Lakeland football.
And what about this atmosphere? Does this feel a little bit about what it was when you were here?
It's crazy. You know, it's the playoffs, and it doesn't get any better than this. You know, everybody plays the hard, long season just for this moment right here.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of rivalry between these two teams, but the Dreadnoughts have been able to pull out pretty far so far. But let's talk a little bit about that plant touchdown. We were talking, before we were on camera about the breakdown on defense, but it looks like Bowman.
We just scored a touchdown. All right. We were talking about how Bowman is going to break and score a touchdown. That's what we were talking about just now.
All right, let's scratch that.
What a run, Tim Conti on 2nd and 23.
Ridiculous run. That is crazy. And those records that Fred Lopez was talking about keep getting closer and closer with those kind of runs here in the second half. Trying to break 2,000 yards to Marcus Bowman.
Jahari can have his little power runs the first half. I'm taking it to the house here in the 3rd quarter. I want my touchdown runs.
Well, I was just telling my brother when I went down to visit, I said, this isn't normally Bowman's first half. He's starting to get his feet under him, but he normally breaks a few long ones. Hopefully we'll get to see that. We have, and Bowman answers, and there's the cannon. 28-10. Fireworks abound here in the 3rd quarter at Bryant Stadium. Wow, 74 yards. 58-yard run officially, 74 total on the drive.
58. Yep. So he had a 71-yard touchdown run
and a 58
in the first.
And then he already had
in the first 3.5 minutes.
And he already had
of the 3rd quarter.
66, so he's over 200 yards. Yeah,
you're right at 200. Yeah,
right at 200. Wowzer. Yeah, that was Michael had to chime in there. You're right, Michael Barrett. That he turned that corner. You could see everything working, man. The arms, the hips. He was like,
when he turned the corner, it was literally right in front of us, right about midfield, from where we're sitting here in the 3rd deck of the press box. And the one plant guy had a chance to get him, and I thought the plant guy, he dove and he had a chance, but once Bowman got by him, forget about it. And the guys had angles coming.
That was
DeMarcus Bowman put it in overdrive.
Monster run by DeMarcus Bowman, kickoff to the 5-yard line. And it's going to be a fake reverse, and number 21, Wilborn, goes down hard. Nice job of a special teams tackle. Wilbon is going to be gimpy, getting up a little bit injured.
Tayshawn Rodman did not bite on the fake, and he got him down inside the 15-yard line. So Lakeland really just playing a great game in all phases tonight, offense, defense, and special teams.
Robert Weiner trying to pull out some special stops.
And I tell you, Tim.
You have to.
I mean, of those 2 runs, I mean, the first one was basically the offense of line blocked a big hole, and with the option pitch there, he just used his speed and took it to the house. But that second run, the way he got around the corner on that guy and then put it in overdrive and guys still angles, that was, even though it was less yardage, the more impressive of the 2 runs in my opinion.
Gleason 1st and 10 from the 16, hands off to Wilbon. Wilbon's going to push the pile about 3.5, 4 yards.
I mean, there's a lot of guys who could probably make that first run because it was blocked so well. But the way he got around the corner and used his speed there, there's not a lot of guys who made that run.
2nd down, 6 now as the balloon flies here over Bryant Stadium and the clouds clear over the full moon. Just a beautiful evening here in late November as the Dreadnoughts 28-10 up on the Plant Panthers in this regional final. Drop back pass, 3 yards deep. He's going deep again, long. He has a man wide open again. Caught! This time, I think Fenley Graham's going to get him around the 23-yard line, slung out of bounds hard, and he pays for it. Hard tackle by Fenley Graham, but still a pickup of a ton.
That is his favorite target, Caleb Ferris.
And near the cheerleaders, thankfully they got out of the way, but the receiver went down hard. Fenley Graham slung him back. Yeah, you think that's a dislocated shoulder type of injury.
But there's nothing malicious about that. He's just getting him out of bounds.
He popped up. Good thing. Good deal. Jump back over on the sidelines quick.
I am a little surprised that after that kind of play just happened the last drive, that it happened again.
Exact same play, wasn't it?
Talking to the defense over there. A little bit surprised that that happened again.
Well, Gleason trying to answer again. We talked about how quick the first and second quarters went.
This guy's special, Gleason.
Yeah, he's amazing as a junior as well, too. Single set back in Wilbon. He's going to hand off to him on the late draw. Wilbon just battles his way. Fumble. Dreadnought ball.
No, they're going to say he was down.
Oh, they're going to say he's down.
He's down.
Oh.
That would have been the first turnover of the night.
Yeah, that was close. But
I think that's the right call, though.
Savannah Collins back with a quick report. Go ahead, Savannah, take it away.
Well, we got a little interrupted there before, but what an explosive play. You said that looked a little bit familiar.
Oh, it looked just like Chris Rainey. You know, Chris Rainey was made famous, the 13 lead draw play. That wasn't necessarily 13 lead draw, it was 52 lead draw, which is the opposite side, but a similar result.
Man, and what about this atmosphere here tonight? We were down in the dog pound earlier. Tell me about that section of a Bryant Stadium football game.
Well, the dog pound is all of the Lakeland locals. They go down and just talk crap to the visiting team and just have a blast down there. I just love being down there. Their passion for the game is so epic. It makes me smile every time I go there.
And when you played here, that had a big factor in the game, and you can see that coming out tonight. Why do you think in a playoff game like this, us, really keeping the momentum on our side is important for being able to get the win?
Well, in the playoffs, we need everything we could possibly get, whether it's, the fans, the stadium noise, and the fans bring another, epidemic or a 12th man to our defense. So we love the fans. We love the fans here. They, look, right now, something barely happens and they're cheering. So, we got to embrace it.
And speaking a little bit about the defense, a lot of people thought that Tucker Gleason and their running backs were going to come out and really put on a show tonight, and we've really been able to contain them so far this game. What do you attribute that to for the Dreadnoughts tonight?
I think it's a great game plan. The coaches put up a great game plan, got these guys going out here hustling to the ball. I think one big key to victory is getting turnovers, causing that quarterback to be rushed back there and make some errant passes.
And I know this isn't the game that's going on right now, but we're both Gators. I got to ask, I know what my prediction is tomorrow. What are you thinking tomorrow?
I'm predicting the Gator win, of course. I'm thinking along the lines of like maybe 16-7. Regardless of what the score is, I hope the Gators come out victorious.
Well, I hope they come out victorious because I know we got a couple of Dreadnoughts who are still on the line if they're going to be Gators, and I think this is a big game for recruits every single year, right?
It's awesome. It's great, and this game right here, no matter what the record is, each team comes out and try to give it their all, because it's a rival game. So we're going into enemy territory. Hopefully we can come out with a W.
Absolutely. Well, a couple of Gator Knots back home. We love being back on the sidelines. I know I do, and Ahmad does too. We just got to keep him from coaching while he's over here. We got to be fans only. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Savannah. Ahmad Black and Savannah Collins. There's a little bit of a miscommunication on the Plant sidelines. What you missed there was Gleason was unsuccessful on a couple of pass attempts, so bring up a 4th down and 4, a long field goal attempt, actually a 32-yarder. It's going to be off the right side. I don't think it's going to get there. No good. So the defense holds, and a fantastic job by the defense. There's a flag, though, on the play. We'll see if, it is against the Knots, too. They're going to have a first down potentially on that. That's a big call, and that is against the Knots from all appearances. My word. Oh, running into the kicker. Are you kidding me? That's a huge Panther first down on the personal foul roughing the kicker penalty.
Wow, what a crucial
My
penalty.
goodness, Jeff.
as that kick almost weaved back in, but it was just wide and right. And then what a break for Plant.
Well, there's definitely confusion on the kicking side of things, special teams for Plant. They had guys running in and out the last moment, and the kicker was just not set. And so it was kind of inevitable he was going to miss to the right side with an official's timeout, though the Knots have a big penalty. They haven't had many of them tonight. That's perhaps the biggest one going against them.
Crucial, yeah. When we had that big holding penalty a while ago, we were able to overcome that in the long Bowman run. But now when the defense stops Plant and forces them to miss field goal, you just can't have that. That's really the first undisciplined play of the night for Lakeland.
Mudgeon and Wilbon in the backfield with Gleason.
First and goal.
3 wide receivers.
Right,
Gleason drops back. He's going to quarterback keep it, and he sneaks by one of our defenders. Boy, I don't know how he got past Khalil Crawford. Crawford missed him
for a loss of a couple yards.
Yeah, he did. He whiffed almost on him, and Gleason is a little bit gimpy, but he gained 4 yards on first down, 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, he so really it's a 4-yard game, but in reality it's almost like a 7-yard game because instead of a 3-yard loss, it's a 4-yard game. But he's definitely gimpy. If I'm Coach Baldini, I might start blitzing some more. When they're passing, I don't know if he's going to be able to handle if you really bring the pressure.
2nd goal to go at the 6. Man in motion, Mudgeon. Gleason drops back, looking, buying time. Go after that man, throws it late, and oh my word, nearly picked off. Finley Graham stepped in front of it, should have had an interception, and just bounced out of his hands. Incomplete pass. 3rd and 6.
What we do know so far in the third quarter, since his injury late there in the second quarter, if you get him all day in the pocket, he can pick you apart and throw the ball downfield. So, like I said, if I'm Coach Baldini, I think you got to bring the heat on this guy.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's not 100%. Clearly, he's not moving as well as he did in the first half.
Clearly a physical game, and Plant's got most of the rough side of the injuries tonight. They've had 5 or 6 players down at various times in the ball game here with 5:26 remaining in the third quarter. They've got beaten up a little bit. It's hard to say if that's just the long season kind of getting to you, or obviously coming in here to Bryant Stadium with a physical defense. And the defense
the
trying to hold.
Defense, they'll put it on you, no doubt. We got some big hitters there, especially in the linebacking core. Want to take a quick second, give a shout out to my parents, Mr. and Ms. Goddard. I know watching the game tonight. Glad you guys are tuning in, and my brother Jason and my brother Robbie. I'm not sure if he's flying tonight for JetBlue, if he's in a layover, so he might be watching as well. Give a shout out to all you guys. Had a nice Thanksgiving at my parents' house yesterday. Tim, you gathered with your family yesterday?
Yes, we did. Went to my brother's and had his wife is Vietnamese, so we had a traditional half Thanksgiving and a Vietnamese Thanksgiving. It was
nice.
awesome. Some different cultures and different food. Movement on the ball. That penalty should be against the Plant Panthers as.
Yeah, I don't think the Lakeland guy went across the line, so that should be against Plant.
Yeah, I think Gleason threw the ball down, realizing that it was on their side. Some good insight from Ahmad Black, of course, a fabulous Dreadnought cornerback, and went on to play the star for the Gators, and then went on to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a while as well. Just one of those guys that was always around the ball, Jeff, and always had.
Not the fastest, not the biggest,
no, but got
a
it
nose
done
for the ball and understood how to play the safety position. Yeah, I talked to him last week about the big interception in the national championship game of Sam Bradford. All Gator fans remember that play, of course. Big play, 3rd and goal from the 11 for Plant.
3rd and 11, Plant getting a second try. A little bit of a bobble snap, ball's down, get after him. Oh, they throw it, and it's caught.
Are you kidding me?
And a touchdown. Oh, my goodness. That is a fabulous play by their quarterback, Tucker Gleason. I don't believe what I just saw.
Pass play.
That
the bobble
was
ball
crazy.
Pass play.
I mean, that is the only place he could have thrown it in the entire field. Just lobbed it up on a prayer.
So basically, to just analyze what happened there, it was a bad snap. It was low to the right, and he started to move with it, but never really had possession of it. So it was on the ground for a full second, not 2 seconds. So, of course, all the Dreadnought players are coming right for the ball. He calmly picked it up and just lobbed it. Extra point is up and good, so 28-17 is your new score. And the running back, that was Wilbon, slipped out of the backfield wide open because everyone's going for the ball. And Gleason just threw it up and fell right in the hands of
and then late, Jeff, you get
Wilbon in the end zone.
Right there, an unsportsmanlike call against the Knots. Khalil Crawford got a little chippy. And
The Panthers scoring drive was 8 plays and covered
So to tack it on now, 28-17.
And they're going to have the ball kicking from close to midfield. At this point, do you try an onside kick even? I mean, you haven't been stopping Bowman lately. Maybe you use this field position on the penalty.
Robert Wiener's not – he's the kind of coach that would do that. He would definitely look to go for a risky move. With a momentum a little bit on your side, you take those pockets of momentum where you can get them with 5:20. This has been a crazy third quarter. Again, the first half just flew by.
And look at this. Yeah, so they're going to have to kick the ball from, the 50-yard line or the 45?
See the Dreadnought cheerleaders?
Look at this. The Dreadnought, they're kicking the ball from the Dreadnought 45-yard line. I mean, you'd be crazy not to do an onside kick.
Why not? I
hope Lakeland has their hands, team, man. Yeah, look at they're going to line up and just sprint out and then do it.
It's going to be a big play, number 26.
I thought they were going to just kind of do it real quick, but they're actually going to go and line up and do a traditional kick here. But let's see.
Evan Passath, the kicker. He's set up. I think he's going to do an onside. Oh, he's going to kick it away and just get it out to 20. That's surprising.
I am surprised. Of course, you don't have to worry about Finley Graham having another big return. So
good point.
Yeah, I'm shocked that you didn't do some kind of a squib or onside kick.
Well, either way, like you said, I mean, you respect Finley Graham and Howard back there by just kicking it in the end zone, but you could have squib kicked it and they wouldn't have had a chance at a return.
So Lakeland will start this possession at their own 20-yard line. Once again, tonight's high school playoff game sponsored by General RV Center. We appreciate their support.
Through wide receivers for the Dreadnoughts, as Coach Castle not afraid to go downfield, and that is a crazy snap, late flag on the play, movement on the ball. I think the Dreadnoughts jumped. Yeah. False start, Knots. I don't know, they just weren't set from the get-go on that play.
So once again, to recap, Lakeland had stopped Plant after the long pass play to Ferris. Forced a field goal attempt, which was missed just wide right. But Lakeland got called for a late hit roughing the kicker, and that gave Plant new life, and they were able to score. So that penalty directly costed the Dreadnoughts 7 points, Tim.
And the penalties adding up now for the Nos after a relatively clean first half. They seem to be really getting some as Bowman tries to get to the outside and is pushed out of bounds. Here, watch out, cheerleaders, down to...
Got about 3 yards, so it'll be second and 12 now.
Picking up a few of the penalty yards back, about 3.5 or 4. Just shy of the original line of scrimmage.
I'm still waiting, Tim, to see if Lakeland goes back to that screen pass to Bowman.
You like that call, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it was there. I mean, he just, like you said, he kind of had to jump for the ball, which I'm not even sure if he had to. It was kind of awkward looking. And then, he fell down there, but, I mean, the play was there. I'll be curious to see if Castle dials it up at any point here in the second half.
Weston Howard wide out on a second and 12. Ski McWilliams looking in that direction. Fires it over too high for Howard.
Howard was open, just overthrew him there. Would have been about an 8-yard gain, set up a makeable, much more manageable third down. Now it's 3rd and 12. So if Plant can get a stop here and force Lakeland to punt from deep in their own territory, really for the first time in a while, if you're Plant, you feel like you got some real momentum. Down 11 with the ball back.
A lot of football to be played here again in this third quarter. Still 5 minutes, over 5 minutes to go. See what Coach Castle can dial up. And can the defensive line protect Ski McWilliams?
Got an uncovered receiver there.
Yeah, that was a good. The linebacker got a little too aggressive and stepped over the line.
All right, 3rd and 7 is much better than 3rd and 12. But, Tim, I'm telling you, our slot receiver was not covered by a Panther in that play. Let's see how they line up again on this next play, 3rd and 7. Could be a different play now, 3rd and 7 instead of 3rd and 12.
Yeah, to go with that same play that you have, looks like the same setup.
Yeah, now this time they have 55 out in the slot there. So their slot receiver is covered now.
McWilliams rolls out left side, and there is a shovel pass to Big Zipper, and look at Keon Zipper
He's
run.
got a
Are you
first
kidding
down.
me? Wow, the big man. That away, Keon. I don't know if I've seen that aggression from him.
That's the kind of play right there where he's earning his Division I scholarship. He's going to be signing here in a few months.
Good little run.
That's a huge play.
That is a beat. Enormous play.
Keep the drive alive. You don't have to punt. And don't forget how big that offsides by Plant was.
And taking a little time
But that's
off
the
the
same
clock.
play call that they went with on that fourth down play earlier. And we stopped them just short, but Keon Zipper converted the first down for Lakeland.
Keeping the
It's option play again. He's got to keep it.
offense going. Ski McWilliams cuts it back. That vision is amazing. Yeah, he's calling for the face mask, but they didn't.
6
They didn't call
yards.
it. Pulled his helmet right off.
Once again, good play there by McWilliams as Plant kind of was playing the pitch. Once again, General RV in Dover is your RV Super Center. As we have another injured Plant player. Just a short drive west on I-4, they have the lowest prices on over 700 RVs. Their friendly staff can help you with all your RV needs, from sales and service to parts and accessories. General RV is the nation's largest family-owned RV dealer. They carry all the best trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, and pre-owned RVs. Join the General RV family today and visit their Tampa Super Center in Dover, just a short drive west on I-4. So, Tim, in my halftime interview with Charlie Hall, I found out what a fifth wheel is. Do you know what a fifth wheel is? The difference between a fifth wheel and just like a regular camper or trailer?
I do not.
Yes, and neither did I.
Not
so,
up on my trailer trivia.
So like a regular trailer, like you would just hook on to the back of a pickup truck, but a fifth wheel, you actually hook up into the bed of the truck. So typically a fifth wheel is a little bit bigger, heavier, more room in the fifth wheel than in a regular trailer. You learn something new every night here on the Lakeland Football
Shane, being
Podcast.
from Polk County, I don't know what a fifth wheel. Now I do.
I've heard of a fifth wheel. I just didn't really know what it
Heard of
was. Yeah. Want to give a quick shout out to Bill Cruz, a friend of Michael David's, who's watching the game tonight out in Texas. Glad you're watching. Hope you're enjoying the game. Then we have a new quarterback. I just noticed that is Mason Martin's in. I think he has to come in for one play because Ski McWilliams' helmet came off. Of course, he was arguing with the referee or lobbying the fact there should have been a
Technically,
face mask.
equipment malfunction has to come out for one play.
Now Martin can throw the ball.
Yeah, that'd be
Let's see
interesting,
if they
right?
call
Not
a pass
expecting
or
it
if they
on a second down
just
and about
hand it
4
off.
or 5. Martin's just going to hand off to Bowman. I would have
No
fired
gain.
something there. I would have let Martin chuck it. So McWilliams will come back in on a 3rd and short.
As a matter of fact, at Thanksgiving yesterday, Michael David, I just mentioned, who's here in the stands today, he was mentioning that touchdown pass that Mason Martin threw earlier in this season, the fade in the corner.
Yeah, one of the best passes we've ever
The
seen.
best pass we've ever seen. Gorgeous.
Yeah, I agree.
It was over here in this
I remember it well.
northeast corner of the end zone here at Bryant Stadium. Just a beautiful pass. All right, 3rd and 4 here.
McWilliams back in 3 yards deep. High snap. Keeper.
fakes and
Left
keeps it.
side.
He's
Nice
got
blocking
plenty of
by the
room.
line, but broken tackle is all the difference right there. Cutting back, still on his feet down near the 40-yard line. Nice nifty run by McWilliams as there's blocking and then a late flag on the Dreadnoughts. Oh, man. Golly, guys.
Still be a first down there. At least it should be.
It's after the play, but the ref's still on the chain gang. Go back. Maybe it won't be a first down.
I mean, I don't know. Let's see how. I mean, if it's after the play, it would definitely be. If it's during the play, it just depends how far down it is and where the ball gets marked to. But I do want to bring up one point there on that play. I mean, Williams did a little bit something risky there when you needed 4 yards for the first down.
Yeah.
If he had just went straight and not cut out, he would have gotten 4 or 5 yards easy and definitely had the first down. But he went for the bigger play, and it worked, but only when he broke that tackle. I mean, if the Plant guy gets him down, he does not get the first down. So obviously it worked with his athleticism, but a little bit risky and not just taking the sure first down, trying to bounce it outside to get a bigger play.
McWilliams is so much more slippery than I remember here in the first part of the season. He's really
Well, he
just
was
tonight
hurt. He
breaking.
got hurt in that kickoff classic game.
He's
You can
breaking
tell
tons of tackles.
Yeah, you're seeing a fully healthy and fully functional Ski McWilliams. So it will be a Dreadnought first down. We do get marked back some, but it'll be 1st and 10 for Lakeland at the Plant 48-yard line.
Dread offense taking some time off the clock here in the third quarter. The start of this drive with over 5 minutes.
Dreadnought towel down in the field or on the 40-yard line. Someone, or a towel of someone's white towel there.
Just into Plant territory, McWilliams is going to fake the handoff to Bowman and just head straight up the field for a 3-yard gain. Keeping that defensive front for Plant honest. Keep them guessing.
I don't think this is something that Coach Castle's try to kind of hold some stuff back. Could be. I think like we just thought it was more of a thing of McWilliams getting healthier as the year's gone along, but you're seeing a lot more of the quarterback run game here the last few weeks than you did early in the year. That could be maybe Castle's wanting to kind of hold that back a little bit, for the players. But I'm assuming there's more just a factor of he's fully healthy now.
Well, Fred and I were talking about you're just seeing a fraction of the offensive playbook really from the Knots with all these weapons. I mean, you could go a lot of different directions, and we're just kind of going with this run option tonight. Bowman gets a handoff. It's going to be shy of the first down marker by
about 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah.
3rd and 2.
Nice sustained drive here, as we said. This one started with a little over 5 minutes, and now we're at the 2:26 mark.
And this is actually what you want if you're Lakeland. Obviously, the big runs by DeMarcus Bowman were great. We have an 11-point lead late in the third quarter. You want another long, prolonged drive, no doubt about it. This is just what the doctor ordered. Especially if we can, get points off of it. You only got 6 seconds left. Lakeland's going to struggle to get off. They might have to call timeout. And Coach Castle did call timeout.
Just called timeout.
As it turns out, they just got it off, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a pretty play or not because they was kind of rushed. So I think that was a smart play by Coach Castle.
Yeah, up in the press box here, we heard a lot of the guys yelling, "You got to go, got to go!" And Coach Castle knew what was going on and called the timeout with 1:59 left in the third quarter to talk things over.
Yeah, just a real quick, want to remind everybody that next Saturday, December 1st, they're going to have a special showing of the Christmas movie Elf here at Bryant Stadium. Tickets are $3 in advance, $5 at the gate. You can come and bring your blankets or lawn chairs, sit in the field or in the stands, and watch Elf on the Jumbotron. Great way to kick off the month of December and your Christmas season. I think you can bring your own food, or actually, no, I don't think you can. I think you have to. The concession stands will be open, so plenty of food to buy. So I think you have to get food here once you're at the stadium. But that should be fun next Saturday night.
The classic of our generation, Elf.
Yeah, Will Ferrell, that's one of many great roles he's had. All right, here we go, 3rd and 2. Under center is McWilliams.
Quick handoff, Jahari Martin. Jahari Martin in the open field. Are you kidding me? Jahari Martin with a hat trick tonight.
So much for the long drive.
That's 3 for Jahari Martin. He didn't expect to, but he found himself in the open field and just said, "I'm going to keep going. I don't need to go down."
You see that happen a lot, Tim, on a 3rd and short or 4th and short on those quick hitters to the fullback. If you get by the initial would-be tackler, you have nothing but green, and that's exactly what happened. I think they were keying on Bowman. I don't think they expected to see Martin get the ball at, there at the 40-yard line. And
Jahari Martin with the hat trick tonight. Wow. 3 scores.
Hey, he says, I can not only can I do the short runs from the 2 or 3 yard line, 1 yard line, I can take it from the 40-yard line.
Man.
DeMarcus Bowman, I can run long touchdowns too.
What's up with
Dreadnought rushing attack is just crushing Plant tonight, Tim.
35-yard power play. Yeah, they are. Offensive line playing tremendous. Flag here.
All right, you knew it was going to happen. They're bringing Jace off the field with the half the distance to the goal line. They're going to go for 2. Are there? No, yeah, I agree.
No.
Although it's tempting. Right now you're up 17. If you don't get it, they can tie you with 2 touchdowns and a field goal. So I think you just kick it and try to go up 18. I think this is the right call. I know it's tempting for Coach Castle, and he typically would do that.
Normally, one of his coaches grabbed his shoulder, and he's like, "Yep, you're right.
Look at the score. Look, this point in the game, based on what the margin is, I think this is the right call.
Howard sets down. Knee goes down. Waits for the snap. It's a good one. Looks to be. Jace Hohenthaler boots it through. Beautiful kick, too. Point after good. Well, that's one way to do it is just keep scoring points, Jeff Goddard. I don't care how many they score. If you keep putting 7 on the board.
And that was, compared to the first 2 touchdowns in the third quarter, that was somewhat of a prolonged drive.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking.
Took 4 minutes off. Remind you for the latest official news about Florida high school sports, including results of all rounds of the 2018 FHSAA football championships. Visit FHSAA.org, the official website of the Florida High School Athletic Association. That's www.fhsaa.org. Catch live and on-demand postseason coverage of Florida high school sports at www.nfhsnetwork.com. And there you go. As we told you earlier, St. Thomas was way out, but we had a couple of close ones there. We'll try to get you some more scores.
We still don't have a score in Lee Edgewater, but I'm surprised the last score we had was Bloomingdale up on Venice. That's definitely a surprise. Venice certainly will be the favorite in that game.
Jace boots it away. It's going to be caught at the 1, and just trickles in the end zone. That's what Finley Graham tried to do earlier. They want to return that if they can, Jeff, but
they do.
Just in the end zone.
We've covered, other than the first kickoff of the game, had fairly good kickoff coverage tonight, so I'm not for sure if they really want to return that or not. The last time we had them at the 15, I think, so. But they did have one good kickoff return there to start the game, but since then our kickoff coverage unit has been dialed in. So, Tim, we're up 18. The difference in the game right now is those 14 points we had to end the second quarter and start the third quarter. Other than that, it's a 4-point game. So, no matter what's happened since then, that still has been the difference in the game. We stopped them on fourth down, we scored, and then scored again to start the third quarter. That is what has given us this 18-point lead.
Under center, a little bit different look here for Plant is that it's a very unsuccessful look. Wilbon on the carry. Gleason just got under center and tried to do a quick handoff to Wilbon, and the defensive line stuffed it.
I wonder if Walter is related to Michael Wilbon. Pardon the interruption.
Struggled to get a yard on a 2nd and 9. Approaching the 1 minute mark in the third quarter. As Gleason has thrown a couple bombs. What will he do now? 2 wide receivers split each side. Steps back, drop. Looking deep downfield again. Has a man wide open. Caught again 3 times. Number 1 is off to the races, and he's going to get in the end zone for a touchdown.
Actually,
the defender
second time
fell
for
down.
Number 1. He scored both touchdowns on those long plays. The in between those two was Ferris to call the one where he got tackled on the 20. But Smoke Mungeon once again smoked the Dreadnought defense, but as you saw, it was obvious what happened that time. Number 15 for the Dreadnoughts, Antonio Ware fell down. If not for that, who knows, maybe that pass is not completed. So each team has scored 3 touchdowns here in the third quarter. All 3 rushing touchdowns for Lakeland, big plays, and 3 passing touchdowns for Plant. So both offenses have caught fire here in the third quarter, but doing it in totally different ways.
Late flag.
Now, if this is against Lakeland, Plant might go for 2 here because it would give you a chance to make it a 10-point game. So it is against Lakeland. Let's see. If I'm Coach Wiener, I'd definitely go for 2 here.
Yeah, no question about it.
And now they get this in. If you're Coach Castle, you're now might be second-guessing yourself for not doing it yourself a while ago. Yep, right. I mean, the minute to go, you're down by 12. Minute to go in the third quarter. Absolutely the right decision here by Coach Wiener to go for 2. It's only about a yard and a half to get it. Although they haven't ran the ball well at all tonight against Lakeland for the most part, so we'll see what play call they go with.
This is going to be a trick play. I don't know about trick play, but this is going to be some kind of misdirection play. And they have the backup quarterback in number 5 in the
lined up in the slot
spot, Jude May. So this is going to be some kind of
going in the eye formation.
A little bit of trickery here going on. No, they just handed off to Wilbon.
But another flag.
Now
so
what do you do?
now you're going to probably bring the kicker back out because this is probably a false start against Plant. They kind of were.
They were shifting
not
all
really
around.
Set. Yeah, they were kind of rushing a little bit there. Delay of game. All right. So now bring the kicker back out. So you see there on the screen, General RV Center is our kind and loyal sponsor. We appreciate them stepping up and sponsoring this playoff game so we can bring you the action on the Lakeland football webcast. All right, here we are. Extra point attempt now for Plant.
Oh, nearly blocked.
He missed it.
Oh, wow.
Off the left upright.
Wow.
Almost blocked. then off the left upright. So now it's a 12-point game. So wild swing there. You're going to kick it to make it 11. And then Lakeland's offside, so you're going to go for 2 and make it a 10-point game. And then you have a false start. So now you go to kick it, and you boink it off the left upright. So now instead of being down by 10, you're down by 12. So interesting turn of events.
We're stuck at that kind of 11-point spread, as you said, and now a 12-point with a missed extra point. All those points are big, and all the possessions are big.
Because now, if you're down by 11, you could still it's still a 2-possession game in terms of a field goal, and then you can get a 2-point conversion after a touchdown to tie it. Now you're down 12, so you have to get essentially 2 touchdowns or a touchdown, 2 field goals to take the lead if you're Plant.
You love seeing how young kids respond. Obviously number 15 down on himself, Antonio Ware, for falling down and letting a couple of the big plays perhaps happen. And a lot of the teammates just going by, slapping on the say, hey, we got a lot of football to play. We need you. Just giving them some encouragement. And
well, this was the concern. Although the pass defense was great the first half, we said there was a weakness of the Dreadnought defense. It probably was the pass defense, and you're seeing Plant take advantage right here in the third quarter.
Particularly the deep ball, obviously, as a line drive kick. Is going to be caught by Finley Graham at the 2-yard line after the big hop. Finley's going to change fields and try to get a block and switch directions again. And now he's going to get a block up the middle and fall down near the 20. So all that running around for a 19-yard starting possession.
Yeah. I'll take the 18. At one point, I thought he was going to be tackled on the 10, so I'll take the 18.
That's not horrible.
The Dreadnoughts will take over first down and 10 from their own 19-yard line.
Could have been worse, as you said.
No doubt.
Just under a minute now, third quarter.
Not a lot of scoring in the first half and no penalties. The first half flew by. Now with all the touchdowns and the injuries and everything and more penalties, the third quarter.
You said it's a completely different game in the
third
second
quarter,
half.
I bet you the third quarter in terms of just length, in terms of minutes, is probably as long as the whole first half. Oh yeah, the second half is a totally different ballgame than the first half.
Ski McWilliams calls for the ball. Fourth down. Not fourth down, rather. Just scrambles out. Now switches direction. Has some blocks over to this side. He also has some men open.
He's way past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. That was
a
weird play. He had Howard obviously down here as well as Gadarian West,
Howard,
but he would have had to throw it earlier.
Yeah, Howard was. He wasn't wide open. He's kind of open, but yeah, that would have had to been an amazing throw. There's a much better chance of that getting picked off. So he kept it and got about a 14-yard gain. So great play there by Ski McWilliams. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. The Ski McWilliams that we see now is a totally different player than Ski McWilliams we saw the first month or so of the season. As now you're seeing the fully healthy Ski McWilliams.
And the offensive line doing a really nice job, and they had to sustain some blocks there, giving McWilliams the opportunity to get the sideline on a first down. Outside the 35, Bowman dives forward for maybe a yard and a half.
We'll give him 2 yards. So he gets out to the 34-yard line. It'll be second and 8. Jared Valdez made a tackle for the Panthers.
Special thanks to Aunt Tia of Hollywood Cafe. She brings some sweets and cupcakes, and she also feeds the Dreadnought team. You can't play good ball without good-fed boys.
Did you get one of her strawberry cupcakes? I had one at halftime. Those things are amazing.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Man, those are some serious cupcakes.
No matter how much you had for Thanksgiving, you got to partake in one of those.
All right, that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. It was quite the eventful one as Plant outscores Lakeland. Lakeland outscored Plant 21-20. So we had an 11-point lead, now up by 12 as we head to the fourth frame. Your score, Lakeland 35, Plant 23. So we'll take a short commercial break and be back with you with the fourth quarter of the night's playoff game.
Finding qualified staff isn't easy. Sifting through resumes, verifying candidates, conducting interviews, and running a business? Who has time? You need Staff Builders HR. Whether you're looking for 1 person or 500, we don't use hope. We use science, evaluating data from more than 2.5 million resumes to find you the perfect employee. Staff Builders HR, the science of matching great people with great companies.
Official scores and statistics of
the FHSA. Go ahead, Jeff.
Back with you here at Bryant Stadium. Second and 8 for Lakeland at their own 34-yard line. Up 12 here as we start the fourth quarter. A chance to advance to the state semifinal for the first time in many years for Lakeland.
And that would be right here at Bryant Stadium next Friday night, if we can get the job done in the fourth quarter here. McWilliams keeps it, cuts back, spun around, and goes backwards a few yards.
Basically gets to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd and 8. Before.
I would never tell Coach Castle to coach, but McWilliams looks like he's getting a little winded. I might be trying a few other little things here in this fourth quarter. You just don't want to injure your quarterback. A little tired. Dish off to some of those skilled players. Do some short passes. I like that screen pass idea.
Yeah, I would just get the ball to Bowman on a handoff or a short pass play, whether you screen play or wide receiver screen. I'll get it out of McWilliams' hands kind of quick.
McWilliams fakes to Bowman, throws it to Zipper, has a lot of room.
Perfect.
Zipper, the big man, jumps, hurdles one man, breaks a tackle down the sideline. Keon Zipper, stride for stride, down. Look at Keon go! Breaking tackles, no way! Keon Zipper, touchdown!
You're not going to bring Keon Zipper down by doing arm tackles, that's for sure.
That's a big man.
It's a 66-yard touchdown pass from Ski McWilliams to Keon Zipper. He was almost tackled twice. I thought for sure the 20-yard line they had him.
They had 3 or 4 shots
Tim,
at
he
him.
ran through that tackle.
He
ran through that tackle. The best game of the year for Keon Zipper. He's made some big-time plays tonight.
And someone maybe just got a hold on Keon and said, listen, you've got the size against these other guys. If you just have that attitude of plowing through, they can't get you down. And he's running like that.
He kind of ran by the first guy, but that second one, he just ran straight through that tackle.
He's got some agility, too, sidestepping and hurdling some people tonight as well. There's some movement on the line, and that's going to be against the Knots. It'll push us back 5 yards.
So if we're able to convert this extra point, Tim, and make the score 42-23, that would be our biggest lead of the night. Previously it was 18. That would give us a 19-point lead.
False start against the Dreadnoughts.
Well, I can tell you one thing, that the opposing team, if the Lakeland Dreadnoughts do get a victory tonight, are going to be looking at the film and how they were able to exploit the cornerback straight up the middle for the Knots. So that's going to obviously be something that we have to work on, as Jace Hohenthaler is set now to kick this 25-yard extra point. The snap is down and good.
Kind of a tough snap to handle. Good job by the holder and great job by Jace Hohenthaler. You are Jace's good luck charm. He's back to nailing everything tonight.
No problems whatsoever. The FHSAA would like to remind you to make plans to attend the 2018 Florida High School Football State Championship Games hosted by the Central Florida Sports Commission. This intense action takes place at Camping World Stadium in Orlando December 6th through the 8th. Tickets start as low as $12. Come out and watch the best in Florida high school football play. Visit the FHSAA website at fhsa.org for more information. We hope we're there, Jeff Goddard.
Absolutely. We're less than 5 quarters away from being there.
Edgewater 41, Lee 7.
Wow,
that is a surprise. And Dwyer's getting spanked 35-0. Who are they playing again?
St. Thomas.
Oh, yeah, St. Thomas beating Dwyer 35.
Did you hear their score on the Venice-Bloomingdale game?
No, I didn't hear that one. Kind of a poochie kick there by Jace. Number 6 has the ball, runs into his own player, and then starts to head upfield. Good
30.
tackle.
Can't quite tell who made that tackle there. It might be Jahari Martin.
16, Jahari Martin. Yeah.
16 is 19 is Jahari Martin.
Oh no, it was 16 who made that.
16 is Tayshawn Nixon. Michael Barrett just said in our ear sets, I bet you a Coke, they go deep. You think, Michael?
I don't know. I don't feel it going this direction.
So Venice, I think, is up 50-32 now. Bloomingdale is a high-scoring game.
Everyone's pulling out the stops.
One last thought
tonight
about that Lee Edgewater score. Lee, how often you see it? They had the big upset over Columbia last week, and then they come out of the flat tonight, and Edgewater's taking it to them.
Let's see. They send number 1 in motion, Mudgeon. Quarterback gets it out to their star running back. Nice tackle there at the 39. Wilbon's going to be brought down. Good no call on that one, as Wilbon was still running. So
was that Finley Graham?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a big guy, and he was just Man, he's showing you that he's a full package. He's not just a cornerback and can do the pass coverage or the kickoff returns. I mean, he's physical.
You see him get up, he's like cracking his neck and moving his shoulders like, yeah, that was me.
He's not.
I did that.
He's not a soft corner by any stretch of the imagination. He's not afraid to get in there and get dirty and get physical.
That is first down, but it's actually second down and 1. The quarterback Gleason is going to work out of the shotgun. And flag on the play. It's going to get lots of pressure from the backside, throws it out of bounds, but the flag will prevail. Well, they crank up horse early in the actually, they normally do it third quarter, fourth quarter with 10:04 left.
It's going to be a false start on Plant, but if I'm Lakeland, the second one, you take it opposite, make it second and 6.
At my broadcasting retirement party, you can have them play horse when they
yeah, of course. So false start on Plant, so it'll be second and 6 now.
Actually called it an illegal formation with second and 6. Spread number 14 goes out wide. Norwood, Mudgeon. Gleason's going to hand off to Wilbon. Wilbon's going to get a block, and nice step up there, number 30 for the Knots. What a good stick by
Martin finished them off. But that's
Tayshawn Rodman just made a great stick. Yeah.
And then Martin came and helped him finish it off. It's going to be third and long now for Plant. The funny thing kind of is, Tim, you come into the game, we talked about how the defense has been so strong for Lakeland this year, right? And that's been the strongest unit, and that's been the difference in everything. And they certainly played that way the first half. But, Tim, I mean, look at the score, 42-23. Just shows you how complete of a team Lakeland is when the, supposedly weaker of the two units is carrying you tonight with 42 points.
And you kind of look at where the Plant scoring has come from. I mean, if you take away the
couple bombs, one was the busted covers the guy fell down. And then the third down play was a lucky play.
Right.
After we had stopped him. So
I guess you could always say that about anything, but really,
Yeah, I would say the defense,
except for that,
defense has played better tonight than when you look at when you say, oh wow, they've allowed 23 points. I think overall you could say the defense played better than that, including the big stops there, huge stops. And the.
I'm proud of obviously Jahari Martin's performance. Zippers, Bowman with good grief, incredible plays to keep the Dreadnoughts with some separation here on the Panthers. Just short for the Panthers.
Third and half a yard.
Yeah, you're going, obviously.
Third and half a yard for Plant. Yeah, I mean, Jahari Martin, we give him credit, two-way player today. I mean, he made quite a few tackles and obviously got 3 touchdowns, including a 40-yarder.
It's a good night's work. Gleason's going to dive ahead, using that big body, picks up the first down easily.
Easy play there for Plant to convert that first down.
Tucker found a little seam there and just used the long body to fall forward.
Yeah, I know as a rule, I don't really blitz a lot because our front four gets a lot of pressure, but with Gleason not 100%, I like to see maybe some blitzes here in the fourth quarter, see if you can get him on the ground again.
Yeah, you've been saying that. Apply some pressure. Gleason's going to drop back, looking deep again. This time he throws it wide and over the head of number 8.
That's Ferris and guarded or defended
Nixon,
by
Tayshawn
Nixon is right there. That's a hard pass to make because
it's very difficult.
And you're not able to step into the pass because there was some pressure coming
out. Arm and shoulder, that's what I was going to say.
Very difficult pass.
You have to kind of wheel your body around and literally sling it.
And that's actually a situation where you actually kind of, if you're Plant, you're gliding over through him because if not, that's the kind of thing that can easily be a pick 6 if the Lakeland cornerback gets a jump on it.
I'm impressed with Gleason's ability to throw in different positions. So his body's been on the run, on the move, and he's been able to somehow get the ball out there with that incredible play to Wilbon earlier. That was fantastic as Gleason again drops back 3 steps, looking deep downfield, has a man over the middle of the field. And should have been picked off by the Knots at the 37-yard line.
That's Tayshawn Nixon right on his hands or hit him in the numbers.
Is that Rodman?
Excuse me, number 30. We have 2 Tayshawns, not Tayshawn Nixon, but Tayshawn Rodman. Yeah, correct. Man,
that was almost too easy, right? That's one of those that it hits you so cleanly, you're thinking.
Yeah, that's one of the few times that Gleason has not put the ball on the money to his receiver and kind of let him too much and right in the arms of robbed him, but could not come up with an interception.
Big third down play for the Panthers. If they want to stay in this one, they've got to pick this one up. They drop back again, getting pressure over the middle. Caught. Dropped.
Oh, that
should have been caught. That was a beautiful pass.
Perfect pass. I mean, he let him, just hit him right in stride. I mean, that's a first down if you're playing. I mean, you might have to go for it now anyways. There's 9 minutes to go. You're down by 19, and you got to go for it.
There's nothing you can do about that if you're Gleason. That was beautiful. I'm impressed with him. He's got a good chance of playing.
He's a junior. 6'2", 205.
He grows an inch or two. And,
I mean, he's definitely going to play in college. Now, if he grows an inch or two, I think you're definitely looking at a high-level Division I prospect. And he's already 205. He's thick, We'll see if he grows any more height-wise. But he's definitely
on a 4th and 10, this may be the game for the Panthers. It's going to be caught, but just short, I think.
Once again, another close spot.
Yes, that is going to be short of the first down.
4th and 10, that's going to be a yard short.
Huge defensive stand for the Knots with 8:54 left in this ball game.
I mean, once again, let's see, they might call. They're going to call for a measurement this time. Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, I don't think he got it. It's going to be close, but no reason not to measure this, as you said. I mean, it's kind of the ball game is kind of hinging on this play here. So bring the chains out. I mean, ultimately, I do think he's going to be a few inches short, but I think a public address announcer may have kind of jumped the gun saying that it was a turnover on downs. But let's see, I do think it's going to be short.
By a good yard.
Yeah, it's a full yard. I thought it would maybe be a half yard. That's a full yard, no doubt about it.
Now something that I noticed on the last series is this defense for Panthers, Jeff. They're starting to get
defense, you mean?
They're starting to get wore down a little bit. The Panthers. Dreadnoughts have held, but I could just tell that the Panthers are starting to get a little winded on defense, and they're just missing. Obviously, Zipper broke a lot of tackles, but they're also not full board.
So Victory Christian, local team, with a win, they're advancing the playoffs. And actually, they have one less round. That means they're probably going to be playing the championship game next week. I want to give a special shout out to Katie Smith and her entire family cheering on the Knots up in Flowery Branch, Georgia.
McWilliams hands off Bowman. Bowman left side. Bowman with a head of steam. There goes Bowman. DeMarcus Bowman down. He's going to get a hat trick also. Number 3 for 3 tonight. 2 Dreadnought players with a hat trick.
I was just about to say, no reason to do anything other than feed Bowman right now.
It's like I said, their defense is just done. They've seen too much Bowman and too much Martin.
That's Bowman's second 58-yard touchdown run of the second half.
Have you been injured by the law firm of Bowman and Martin? If you
are injured, we want to refer you to Smith, Federer, and Smith.
That's right. Oh, man. They have put a hurting on the Panthers tonight. Debo made that look easy.
Too much Bowman and Martin for the Plant defense tonight. And also, let's give credit to the Lakeland offensive line.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they've been opening up holes all night long. There's obviously been a couple of great individual efforts, but for the most part, the offensive line has opened up big holes consistently tonight. Not only for the two, for Bowman and Martin, but also for Ski McWilliams, who probably has, 75 yards, I'm guessing, there on the ground, something like that?
Yeah. I mean, and Bowman's got to be –
Bowman's well over 200.
He could get close to 300 yards. J-Ho.
I mean, just his 3 touchdown runs alone are like 187 yards on his 3 touchdown runs.
Yeah.
He's probably got about 250 or so, I'd say.
Well, Jace is on point tonight, and he's using that leg.
Well, actually,
here we go. 30-second touchdown for DeMarcus Bowman. That is a school single-season record.
Wow, a
DeMarcus Bowman.
single-season record for DeMarcus Bowman.
32 touchdowns, one of those marks that Fred and I were talking about.
And we still got one more game, maybe 2 more games.
That's awesome.
That's pretty special.
Yeah, you can't.
And does that break Rainey's mark? Was Rainey
it wasn't Rainey. It was
Dale Terrell or
Stewart, I think. Or Butler. Stuart Butler. Yeah.
Because if it was Rainey, it's kind of cool because Rainey's here tonight.
You think it would be Rainey, but no, it was.
Of course, I think we also blew so many teams out. those years he probably didn't play a lot of fourth quarters.
Call it the 12. This time they are going to do the reverse to Mudgeon. They're going to try to get him to the outside. There's a couple Dreadnoughts over there that are going to get him. Finley Graham is one of them.
It was a nice play, but Lakeland stayed home and didn't allow it to become a home run play. As Plant would take over on their own around 31, 32-yard line.
Jeff, it is really the Panthers had to pick up that fourth down. I mean, the wind is kind of gone. You just got the sense that the offense is still churning for the Knots, and the defense for the Panthers doesn't have it anymore. So, I mean.
Actually, no, I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, the defense is.
This game is done.
Lakeland has out-physicaled them with the blocking of the offensive line and the runs by Bowman and Martin.
I mean, the Panthers could score again, but the game's going to be.
The game's over. 26-point lead. Unless something crazy happens. You still have 8.5 minutes, which is plenty of time, but it's going to something crazy about to happen for Plant to pull this one out.
They're going to try that reverse. That was a nice play, though. Lots of room, but Finley Graham steps around his block.
A sensational
what
game
a great tackle.
Finley Graham is a little on the. He's not super tall. He's 5'11". I mean, to me, he's a Division I prospect, and if he grows a little bit, I think he becomes a major Division I, high-end Division I prospect because he's got the speed, and he's showing you tonight. I mean, not only does he have the speed, he's physical.
Yeah,
he's not afraid to get in there and make tackles. I mean. Deion Sanders doesn't make tackles like that, he's not afraid to mix it up.
It's a good thing that this might be the Panthers' last game, is they are getting abused over there. They've had 7-8 players go down. They've popped all back up for hopefully minor injuries, but they're going to feel it tomorrow.
Tim, they call the rivalry between UCF and USF the War on I-4. And today over in Tampa, I just saw the score. UCF won 38-10. So their undefeated season continues on the verge of having a second undefeated season in a row.
They've got a little arguing. They can argue for something, I think, Jeff Goddard.
Top four? Yeah. I don't know. If you had 18 playoff, I think I'd say they would definitely make an 18 playoff. But 14 playoff?
Yeah, it's tough.
If these teams keep on winning, if Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Michigan keep on winning, I don't see the top four changing. Now, of course, obviously they all have games left, so that could change. But what I was going to say, though, was to segue. Obviously we have a big lead. Edgewater has a big lead against Lee. So if these scores hold, next week you're going to have Lakeland here at Bryant Stadium and mere moments from I-4 hosting Orlando Edgewater. So we'll have our own high school version next Friday night of the War on I-4 for a berth in the state championship game. I don't think we've ever really played Edgewater before, at least not in a long time.
Recall.
Definitely no recent history. I'm sure, at some point back over the years we probably played them once or twice, but at least in recent history I don't believe we played them.
Gleason drops back second. They're getting pressure backside. Oh, he gets it away, but overthrown Ferris. Ferris said he was held, but the refs didn't see it. Number 33 on the coverage. Nice job by Jalen Taylor.
Brings up third down and 3.
We have Savannah down on the sidelines to give us a report. Savannah, take it away.
That record that DeMarcus Bowman just broke was Chris Rainey's, and actually after he scored the touchdown and came off on the sidelines, Chris was waiting for him, gave him a huge hug, and I walked up to Chris and said, Chris, you've held that record for a long time, what does it feel like to have another name there? And he said, everybody loves a good running back. Everybody loves to have that explosiveness in a game. And he said, when you think about Lakeland running backs, he goes, I know a lot of people talk about my name. He said, but he loves the fact that there's going to be a new name in there, and that's going to be DeMarcus Bowman when you hear about great Lakeland high school running backs.
You're right.
Thank you, Savannah, because we were just saying we thought.
Yeah, I guess Stuart Butler
Chris
was
Rainey.
the 3,000 yard in a season, but I guess it was Chris Rainey that had the 32.
And maybe he had the record
then,
because wasn't he before Rainey, right?
Yeah.
So maybe Rainey broke his touchdown record as well. But
yeah.
So anyway, that's great. Chris Rainey's here tonight. I was able to personally congratulate DeMarcus Bowman. I'm thinking definitely Savannah needs to interview DeMarcus Bowman
Passing
after the game.
torch.
Got to interview DeMarcus Bowman after the game.
Oh, you have to grab him as one of them. As Gleason picked up the first down, Wilbon is going to run right smack dab into number 11, Lloyd Summerall.
With a physical tackle. He's not a really super big guy. He's, speed rusher, but man, he's showing you can defend the run also. I will say that of all the plays I've seen DeMarcus Bowman make this year, he's made some spectacular runs and even multiple ones tonight. That his second touchdown tonight, the 58-yarder, that's the one that reminds me the most of Rainey. The way he turned the corner. And it was funny, right when that happened, is when Savannah was interviewing Maud Black, and Maud Black kind of made a reference. Yeah, that reminds me of Chris Rainey. And I'm like, I totally agree with that. That run, more than any maybe run I've seen this year, reminds me of Chris Rainey.
Gleason drops back, looking deep again over the middle of the field. Has pressure. Tipped. Oh, Wilbon almost had it, but number 19 was there.
Still no turnovers tonight by either team.
We had a couple chances. I agree with you, Jeff. The couple runs, a lot of the runs we've seen from DeMarcus Bowman are very good runs. That 50-some yarder was exceptional. That was head and shoulders one of the best runs.
The guy
I've
had the
seen.
angle right there, and he beat him to the corner and then just put it in overdrive.
That's one where everyone just said, wow. If you know high school or football in general, you saw something special there.
And the last one there, he also had to, kind of beat a guy to the corner. But the first one, the 71-yard, that was just blocked so well by the offensive line. It was just a matter of hitting the hole hard, and he was gone.
Gleason's still fighting, though, on a 3rd and long.
That's a
getting
hold.
pressure again.
How do you not call a hold on that?
As he lobs it up, Finley Graham jumps up and just causes enough disruption. The number 6 couldn't get the ball.
Yeah, he didn't throw the flag, I don't think, but he caused the hold. Yeah, you had to throw that hold.
Yeah.
I mean, that was glaring and obvious.
Parker was the intended receiver.
And good job by Finley Graham there, getting up. And even though he didn't flatten the ball, he kind of jumped up and got in the sight line of the receiver for Plant. So in some ways, I'm almost surprised they don't decline it and make it 4th and 10, but now it'll be 3rd and 20. But then again, also, you want them to burn up as much time as possible, so why not make them, go 20 yards now to get a first down?
They just look tired to me, Jeff, at this point. I mean, noticeably, the energy has left the Panthers from up to the middle of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, when you're down by 27 points,
That'll
you're
do
midway
it.
through the 4th quarter, emotionally, it's hard to stay in the game, and certainly physically, as Lakeland's been punishing them on both sides of the ball.
Third and 26 officially. Gleason's just going to look downfield, and he finally throws it to number 6. But that's going to be woefully short of a first down. They'll still have 4th and 10 to go. Nice reception, nonetheless.
Leonard Parker with the catch. Jahari Martin, nice job. I mean, he's a big physical linebacker back there in coverage, showing you he has the complete package. I would imagine he'd be playing big-time college football next season.
P.J. Sloan, the linebacker, pops out of the game. Keon Zipper goes in to apply a little extra.
Keon doing some playing two ways
all
tonight.
around tonight, huh? Use what you got. Zipper's going to come from the left side of the line. Cleve Crawford mirrors number 84. Gleason drops back right side, looking, trying to find some room. He's going to throw that. Oh, caught. That might have been an incredible catch.
The question is, had he gone out of bounds before the catch?
I think you saw his toes in bounds.
That is a catch on a first down for Plant. Great throw by Gleason as he's under pressure, rolling towards the sideline. Just a great tiptoe catch by the Plant receiver. Was that Ferris who caught it? I'm not sure. I think it was Ferris who caught number 8. I just wasn't sure if he maybe set that out of bounds before he caught the ball, but apparently he had not. So great play by Plant, and they'll keep this drive alive. Be 1st and 10 for Plant at the Dreadnought 33-yard line with 6:07 to go. So we had the 4th quarter water break. Once again, we want to thank our sponsor tonight, General RV. Sponsoring the webcast, as you see the number there on the screen, 813-305-2500. General RV in Dover is your RV Supercenter, just a short drive west on I-4. They have the lowest prices on over 700 RVs. Their friendly staff can help you with all your RV needs, from sales and service to parts and accessories. General RV is the nation's largest family-owned RV dealer. They carry all the best trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, and pre-owned RVs. Join the RV family today and visit their Tampa Supercenter in Dover, just a short drive west on I-4. Or if you're watching from Plant tonight, short drive east on I-4.
Drop back Gleason.
All right. That one's a little bit high, as was intended for Leonard Parker.
I got a shout out. You ready? Give me an L. Give me an A. Give me a K. Give me an E. My old friend Emmett Reed. Emmett,
right.
I have to say I miss you, buddy. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Emmett and I used to kind of be the spirit trooper leaders down there. We used to hop the fence and spell out Lakeland with our bodies, and a lot of memories. Too numerous to mention. Emmett was kind enough to ask me back when to join him on the broadcast, and from there, he led the way and passed the torch, and history was written, but he started it. And so thank you, my dear friend Emmett Reed and family, as Gleason's going to get sacked. How about that, Emmett Reed? Way back near the 50-yard line.
And that's what I'm talking about. He doesn't have enough, as he's a little bit banged up, he doesn't have enough juice left in his legs, if you will. He's not 100%.
Crawford busting the caution tape. It's good stuff. Oh, just a mere 3rd and 24 now for the Panthers.
Tucker Gleason wishes there was caution tape on that play that would have kept Khalil Crawford out. Yeah, I mean, it's been a long game, physical game. He obviously got banged up in the second quarter, and that's what I've been waiting to see. Some more pressure on him.
It's going from caution tape to crime scene tape. They're going to have to put the yellow tape out pretty soon.
3rd and 24.
3rd and 24 as Gleason drops back again, rolling out right side. Flicks it to Wilbon.
Nice
somehow
throw.
got it. Makes a hard cut. He's not going to get there, but takes a beating.
He's close to the first down.
1-2
No,
shot.
he got the first down. Yep, he got the first down. So got about 27 yards there as Tucker Gleason was under duress, but got the ball out to his running back, Wilbon, and gets the first down. So 1st and 10 for Plant at the Lakeland 20-yard line.
He's nifty, man. He's a good little quarterback. Fun to watch. Hand off to Wilbon. Straight left side, still running pretty hard, but you can tell.
Tackled by a plethora of Dreadnought defenders.
Gleason is just gassed, man. He's just like.
And Wilbon's on the ground. Has not gotten up. It's Kudell Hall, Trey Huntley, Lloyd Summerall all in combined to make that tackle there. As you see Coach Bulladini.
These Dreadnoughts, whatever they are, they're chasing me all around. They're supposed to be big, slow battleships, not fast little.
Another injury timeout here.
Speedboats.
Thank our injury timeout sponsor, Smith, Federer, and Smith. Brad Smith did a good job filling for you last week.
Yes.
So
Thanks, Brad.
On vacation last week. Want to give a quick shout out to All-American Fire and Safety and Deep Six Divers Services as they provide product for Lakeland at no charge. We appreciate the support of All-American Fire and Safety and Deep Six Divers Services.
Dreadnoughts have this one well in control, well in hand. The regional final is going to turn into the state semifinal next Friday. Yippee.
Speaking of Smith, Federer, and Smith, I want to give a shout out to Zach Federer, who's got a text from him saying their whole family is watching from Chicago.
All right.
He said L-Town looking strong. Yes, they are, Zach, as we're 4 minutes and 29 seconds away from making it to the state semifinal for the first time in about
great energy,
6 seasons,
great
I want to
crowd.
say, 7 seasons.
Probably one of the funnest games of the year. The tale of two halves, Jeff Goddard. First half, defensive battle, feeling each other out. And
so
then
some legal substitution as a flag on Lakeland. Yeah, it's a good way to put it. Tale of two halves. First half was more of a defensive struggle, and then second half,
let it
especially
fly.
Third quarter, was full of fireworks.
Yes. Near the 4-minute mark, Gleason going to keep it right up the middle, break a few tackles, and then get slung down. Helmets flying, everything is going around.
Jahari Martin made the tackle, but his helmet came off, so he didn't have to come out for one play, which I'm sure he's not going to be happy about that.
Brings up first down and goal from the 3-yard line.
Give Plant credit.
Yeah,
they're still battling, not rolling over here as they're trying to get some more points on the scoreboard here.
Savannah's been getting some training, she said. They flew out to California. She's actually been practicing some play-by-play, Jeff Goddard.
Nice.
Yeah, so she said it's definitely
California?
different, very different. Yeah, just getting some training.
Nice, good for her.
As Gleason going to keep it again, just move that powerful body forward and just shy. Look at the Dreadnoughts coming back.
I definitely
Still
think
fighting
she has
themselves.
I definitely think she has a future in broadcasting,
Oh,
no doubt about it. I
absolutely,
mean,
yeah.
just tonight, she's had multiple just very good sideline reports and
She studies too. She does her prep and
absolutely looking forward to her post-game interviews. Coach Castle and at least one Lakeland player. And Plant gets a touchdown here to make it 49-29 with 3:06 to go. I think Gleason kept that, and we'll get credit for the touchdown, as he might be done for the night as he's having to get some help coming off the field. You look at the senior receiver there, Caleb Paris, only 5'2". You see how much bigger Gleason is than Ferris. Of course, they'll have Tucker Gleason back next year, only a junior, but Smoke Mungeon, who caught those 2 touchdown passes, is a senior. Caleb Ferris is a senior, and Leonard Parker is a senior. So all of his main receivers are all seniors.
What about the running back?
Wilbon is a senior as well.
Oh, wow.
So they'll have their quarterback back, but they're going to have to kind of start over with their skill position players other than him.
Extra point is good. Yep.
Plan is, obviously a very good or great program. So they don't really, kind of like Lakeland, they don't have to rebuild. They typically reload. So I'm sure they'll have guys ready to step up and play running back and receiver next year.
They will plug and go, and I'm sure they'll be back with a good effort next season. But this season for them is winding down.
Yeah, I mean, you're down 19, so you basically got to get 3 touchdowns in 3 minutes and 6 seconds to win this game.
I wonder if Coach Castle's saying, hey, DeMarcus, don't score so quick.
Well, clearly you got to do an onside kick now for playing. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no doubt about that.
If Dreadnoughts recover, you wonder if they just try to run out the clock.
So 3:06 to go. Lakeland up 49-30. By far the most points Lakeland has given up this year on defense. Before tonight, I think they gave up 20 to Apopka.
Zipper, Dyer, some of the big men up front, number 20. Tyrell Jones.
Oh, that's a great job by the kicker as the Lakeland player was getting ready to field that ball. He nailed him,
Yeah.
and Plant's able to recover. That's as well of an executed onside kick as you could ever see. I also want to give a shout out to the Lakeland fans tonight, Tim, as the crowd has started to thin out a little bit with Lakeland having this big lead. But tonight, by far, has been the biggest crowd of the year at Bryant Stadium. I mean, the place was rocking tonight.
Yeah.
Felt like old days a little bit here, Tim. What do you think?
I agree. Defense not done. They were hoping to get a little rest, but they're right back on the field now. This could get interesting. We've seen the strike capability with
And Gleason's back out there. So
Gleason, the quarterback.
He's toughing it out.
Stacked the wide receivers, 4 to the near side, 1 single man coverage to the long side, and they're going to go to Wilbon.
Good coverage there by the Lakeland
Very good
secondary.
coverage that time.
But there's a flag on the play. Could be a holding on a Dreadnought defensive back. Let's see. Based on where it was thrown at, that's my guess. Let's see.
Coach Castle, I think, saying push him back. So
Yeah, I think it's going to be against Plant. Illegal main downfield or ineligible receiver, yeah. Illegal or ineligible receiver downfield. So one of the offensive linemen apparently got a little trigger happy on getting downfield. I mean, when you're throwing the ball deep downfield, there's no excuse for that to happen. But sometimes in that situation, it has to do with the way the receivers line up, and it may have not been on the offensive line. It may have been on one of the receivers, if he was covered up or whatever.
Same formation, first down goes over. Gleason's going to roll back again. Now we go to the single man side. Yes, it's going man-to-man coverage deep. And Dreadnought, nice job.
Great coverage.
Beautiful play at the last minute coming in there.
Tayshawn Nixon with the coverage that time. And
Tayshawn did exactly what you needed to do there. He just waited, and at the last moment when he saw the receiver's arms go up, he threw his arms in there and broke up the
made
play.
a play on the ball, so no pass interference. Great job by Nixon. And I didn't catch which Dreadnought player laid the lumber, but Gleason got nailed.
I didn't see that.
He got nailed. I mean, he's going to need to spend some time in the hot tub tonight or get a massage tomorrow or something. He's going to be feeling some pain tomorrow, I'm afraid, for him.
I'm impressed by him, though. One of the best quarterbacks I've seen in a while.
No, he's been very good tonight, no doubt. Tough and gritty and good.
2nd and 15. He's getting lots of pressure. He escapes it and then throws it. He hasn't made a lot. He's made good decisions, too. Like, even on that play where he gets pressure, he didn't throw interception, just threw it in the ground, really.
I can't tell if Summerall got tripped up by the tackle for Plant or if he just kind of dove on his own to go try to tackle Gleason and just dove maybe a second too early. But he one or the other because he could have sacked him. Or maybe the turf monster got him.
Yeah. By design, Robert
But he's
Wiener,
getting some good pressure on Gleason, no doubt.
the coach, is doing these just continuous pass plays, obviously behind, but not taking a lot of time off the clock, just churning in and out. Gleason's just running and gunning right now. Mudgeon goes in motion. Gleason rolls out right side, throws it back for a screen pass, but that's going to be well defended and broken up.
Oh, that's the interception. The ball never hit the ground.
Yeah, it did. I think it did, yeah.
Oh, I thought it never hit the ground. I thought it bounced up off the
It looked like it could have bounced up off someone's ankle. But
that's what I thought. It bounced up off the
look
player's
at number
body.
98. That's Trey Huntley just putting his arm around the ref. That's funny.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. If you are Heath Joseph Twain, your driver's license has been turned into the press box. And Heath Joseph Twain, your driver's license is up here in the press box.
Someone lost their driver's license here at Bryant Stadium, but they found it in the press box. That's good.
Timeout, Dreadnoughts.
Timeout Knots here with the 2:37 in the fourth quarter, leading 49-30. I'm getting a little tired. I'm getting a little winded.
Semifinal, we will face the winner of the game between the Robert E. Lee Generals and the Edgewater Eagles, which was the Edgewater Eagles, who won that game 41-7 tonight.
Wow, Edgewater 41-7, the final over Lee. That's who we'll be playing.
Have all also gone final.
All the final games. Venice laying it 57-32 to Bloomingdale.
57-32?
St. Thomas 35, Dwyer 0, so a shutout for St. Thomas.
So the last score we had was, at one point Bloomingdale was up like 32-29. I mean, so from that point on.
Yeah, that was all.
Venice took it to Bloomingdale. So you're going to have Venice against St. Thomas, two powerhouses, and Lakeland, a powerhouse against Edgewater, would be the surprise team of the Final Four 7-8. Well, they're going to punt the ball. Wow.
Interesting.
Kind of throwing the white flag, I guess. I mean,
Nice
I know
punt.
it's
No.
4th and 15. I'm surprised you don't go for it. So at this point, if you're Lakeland, do you even hand the ball off? Do you just take a knee 3 times and punt the ball back? Or? I mean, I think you probably might have to get one first down to officially be able to run the clock out.
Yeah, but you're right. That was the surrender white flag punting it away right there.
A very
so I just take a
valiant
knee.
effort by Plant tonight, but I think this was a situation where the better team won, the team that was a little bit more physical and just had more weapons, and mainly DeMarcus Bowman. We had DeMarcus Bowman.
Jahari Martin.
Jahari Martin also had a heck of a game. And although, we did give it 30 points and a couple of big pass plays on some busted coverages, but other than those couple big plays, we made them work for everything they got in offense.
Yeah, I agree. See, usually we throw some backup runners. Kellum usually is the one to come in, number 21. That is Reginald Kellum.
Yeah, at this point, you don't want to risk Bowman getting nicked up or anything.
Pregame 3 yards brings up 2nd down and 7.
3 yards for Reggie, rather.
Certainly hope Savannah's able to join us again next week for the broadcast.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Obviously home for Thanksgiving. She was telling me your dad's like, you are going to be here for Friday night, right? She's like, of course.
We want any other way.
You didn't make any other plans, did you? Nope.
Be a false start on Lakeland.
A reminder, after the game tonight, fans, no fans will be permitted onto the playing surface. Again, following tonight's game, no fans will be permitted onto the playing surface.
Well, that was a fun third quarter if you were
a football fan,
especially
a Dreadnought fan.
Yeah.
Also, Dreadnought fans,
Plant made it exciting.
Tickets for next Friday night's game are $9 per ticket.
$9 ticket prices next week can be
an extra $1
purchased
compared
at
to
the gate.
State semifinals, $1 more expensive than tonight's.
Jacking it up. Kellum gets the call out to the 26-yard line.
Should be third and about 7 or so here coming up.
So again, general admission tickets for next week's state semifinal game, $9 per ticket, available at Marshall's Jewelers, and can also be purchased at the gate.
So again, you can purchase the tickets at the gate if you want to come, or at Marshall's Jewelers.
They can only be purchased at the LHS school office on Hollingsworth Road.
If you want to get fancy, you can get the reserve ticket for $13 at the
Lakeland High School
campus. I'm not sure why Ski McWilliams is still in there, to be honest with you, Jeff. But
you don't want him to get hurt either. At this point, now you just take a knee. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you take a knee. You got first down, 56 seconds to go. Take 2 knees, and it's ball game. I believe, Tim, if I'm not mistaken, I know we obviously haven't not got this far since we've been doing the webcast, but I want to say in 2011, I believe we lost in the state semifinal. Do you remember, is that correct? Is that the last time we made it to this semifinal? I know we lost that year up in Jacksonville.
Right.
Was that a semifinal or a regional final? I think that would have been a state semifinal.
Yeah, that was a state semifinal.
I think it's been 7 years since we've made it this far. I mean, if you think about it, we've had some great players come through the last 7 years, including the years with A.J. Davis and James Robinson, and we never made it to the state semifinal. But in 2018, we will be in the state semifinal, Tim, hosting it here at Bryant Stadium. As you see confetti being launched here in the stands. As your final score, tonight is the final 5 seconds. Tick off. Lakeland 49, Plant 30. And Tim, we're back in the state semifinals.
And another blackout next week. They said an orange and black day today. Not Black Friday, orange and black Friday, but a blackout here at Bryant Stadium, a different kind. If you're a football fan, a lot of fun. If you're a Dreadnought fan, good to see the Dreadnoughts back where they belong, Jeff Goddard.
I mean, it's been a long time, 7 years, and for the first time in the Lakeland football webcast history, we'll be broadcasting a state semifinal game.
Yes,
and
at home.
You're playing a team that was, I think, the 7 seed? Or no, what seed were they? They're
either 5 or 4, right?
No, they're 7 seed, yeah, because I think
7.
Yeah, I think Lee was the 5th seed because they upset Columbia, the number 1 seed. Yeah, so Edgewater was like this 7th seed in their region. So Lakeland obviously undefeated, number 1 seed in our region. I mean, not that Las Vegas does odds in high school games, but if they did, I mean, clearly I think Lakeland will be the favorite next week. But you have to respect what Edgewater's done. They just won by 34 points today. So regardless,
they found some recipe, like you said.
They're hot right now. And I mean, it wasn't like they were 6-5 or something, got lucky in the regular season. They were 9-1 in the regular season. So it wasn't like they, got lucky to make the playoffs. Now I'm assuming the reason they were the 7th seed is maybe they didn't play a tough schedule. They didn't have any great wins out of those 9. But hey, you win 3 playoff games, including a regional final by 34 points. You're clearly doing something right. So,
well, as you said too,
gotta give them a lot of credit, no doubt about it.
A lot of factors could have been one of those weird letdown games for Lee after just giving their all the last few weeks.
Yeah, so just a phenomenal effort by the Dreadnoughts tonight. A complete team win. Special teams were great tonight. Made all the extra points. Finley Graham had the big kickoff return. And you also had some great kickoff coverage by the Dreadnoughts. And then obviously the offense. I think we can definitely say with what was at stake tonight and who you were playing, by far the best game of the year for the Dreadnought offense.
Yeah, I'd like to get definitely the stats, if we can, not necessarily post-game tonight, but next week to share with you before the Edgewater game on particularly the rushing yards for Bowman and obviously breaking the record. Hopefully we'll hear from him in just a few moments.
I'm the guess Bowman had around 250, give or take, maybe 270. And then with McWilliams and Martin, I'm going to guess we had probably close to 400 yards rushing tonight.
Yeah.
At least 375.
One of my favorite parts of the game is just the time to say thank you. And this was the whole weekend, obviously, holiday weekend, to say thank you for the blessings that we have and the blessings as Dreadnought fans. And thank you to our Lord for just giving us freedoms and protecting us here in the United States, and be able to just say thank you after a hard-fought, fun Friday night.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And as a high school student, and then especially as a college student, I always love these home playoff games on the night after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And, the first few years out of college, because you come back, you're in town for college break, you come watch the game, you see a lot of your high school classmates and people you haven't seen in for a while, and other people in the community. It's the day after Thanksgiving, holiday weekend. These have always been great memories for me as a Dreadnought alum, a Dreadnought fan. Just, so often, because, we obviously are in the playoffs, basically every year, and often have home games. It's always great to have these home games the day after Thanksgiving. And once again, 2018 brought us another game at Bryant Stadium the day after Thanksgiving. As you see the man, the legend, Coach Bill Castle, talking to his troops, addressing them, saying, hey, get some rest this weekend, come back to school Monday ready to go. You got a big week of practice ahead to get ready for Edgewater. I'd be curious. I don't know how much, if Lakeland's even pre-scouted Edgewater at all or not. Maybe not, because you probably didn't expect to be playing them. But Coach Castle, obviously we just talked about his first time in 7 years reaching a state semifinal. And we haven't been to a state championship game in 11 years or 10 or 11, 12. I know obviously we won our last state championship 12 years ago. But did we make it back to one more? I want to say the next year and lost to St. Thomas. I want to say we did, didn't we, Tim?
Yeah, but that was...
And we won the last one in 2006. So I want to say in 2007 or 8.
It was a few years after.
Yeah, 7 or 8, we made it back and lost. I want to say maybe it was 2008. So about the first time in at least 10 years that we've made it, or if we can win next week, make it to the state championship.
It doesn't take much to get Coach Castle's juices flowing, but every game I think he gets his juices flowing because he just loves to coach. Obviously, that's why he's still doing what he does. But it's special for him. I have not been back there in a while, and
his age was about 79. You just don't know how long.
Yeah.
How long he's going to keep on going.
Get this team that has this opportunity for him is got to be just a thrill.
And all year long, those of us who follow the team on a regular basis, at most of the games, obviously us calling the game, you could just tell early on this was a team that had a chance to go a long ways. It just felt a little bit different than the last few years.
Seen a lot of teams, and you just can tell. It's something from watching Dreadnought football. You can see where in the past we've had some holes that just we knew people were going to be able to exploit. This time it's going to be super difficult.
It's as close to a complete team as you can get.
It really is.
Like I said, the front seven on defense has been dominant. Some of these transfers that came in new this year have certainly paid off. We got Devay Hammond back from offensive line. So offensive line is probably the best it's been in a while. DeMarcus Bowman, now his second year as a starter, is really coming to his own. He's a big-time recruit. He can go to any college he wants. Only a junior. And to me, the one question kind of in the back of my mind, the lingering gnawing question as the year developed was, how good is Ski McWilliams? We heard some of you good things about him coming over as a senior transfer from George Jenkins. And you knew he got hurt the kickoff classic game. Yeah. You could tell early in the season he wasn't 100%. And that's the only question you had was, you got the defense, you got Bowman, but what can McWilliams do, running himself and also passing? And in the last month, you can tell he's healthy now. He's coming into his own with the Dreadnoughts and Coach Castle's offense. And right now, that in conjunction with the defense, it makes you really feel like we should at least make it to the state championship game. That's what we said a few weeks ago, even going into the playoffs. Now, obviously, if you get there and you're facing the powerhouse at St. Thomas Aquinas, you kind of all bets are off. Obviously, I feel like we have a chance, of course, but coming into the playoffs, you really felt like, we at least should make it to the state championship game. And obviously, tonight was the biggest hurdle, probably playing Plant, win by 19. So obviously, you got to win next week. They certainly can't, rest on the laurels or just assume we beat Plant. Now we're automatically going to waltz into the state championship game. Yeah. Because if that's our mindset, then we're going to get a rude awakening next week by Edgewater. But I firmly believe with what you've seen with Ski McWilliams, coming on the last month, the defense and Bowman, playing lights out, that if we have a good week of practice and we're focused and not looking past Edgewater, we should be great next week.
Well said. And here we go. Savannah Collins with Coach Bill Castle. Take it away, Savannah Collins.
I thought you told me you're ready. Coach, congratulations on the win, first of all. The tide has turned back the Dreadnoughts' way in this playoff matchups against Plant. How does it feel to come back on top in this rivalry again?
We really got a great effort out of our kids, and they realized the last 2 years we felt like, we've more or less give it away right at the end of the game. So great effort tonight, great team effort tonight. Especially real pleased with our offense, not shooting ourselves in the foot, and, made a lot of good drives.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the last 2 years it came down to those moments at the end. What do you think were some key moments for the Dreadnoughts tonight to come out on top?
I think the key moments are our ability to move the ball. That's the best we've ever moved it on Plant. And, you got to give our offensive line, they did a great job up there tonight. And, I think overall it's just a good effort out of our offense.
Absolutely. And, of course, DeMarcus Bowman, breaking that regular season touchdown record. You've had a lot of great running backs in your tenure as head coach here. What sets DeMarcus Bowman apart?
He's worked hard to get where he's at, and and he's got speed. If we can just get him in open, he's hard to catch. So he's a great back, and like you said, we've had a lot of great backs, but he's right up there.
Absolutely. And I know everyone will be back on Friday night to see some of those explosive moments from him next week again. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, and so good interview. And I think the key I took away from that was offensive line play. It kind of set the stage for everything that the offense did, the backs did.
Consistently move the ball.
Consistently.
He also mentioned the fact that we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot like we did last week against Kathleen, so that was huge.
Good point. And, I have to admit, I didn't think Ski McWilliams had in him what he's been showing us the last 4 or 5 weeks.
No.
I thought he was a good quarterback, but
it was a health issue. Probably.
Yeah, and I didn't know. You kept saying that, but I didn't realize there was that big of a difference.
And maybe a comfort factor.
It could be too. Yeah.
First year at Lakeland, first year in Coach Castle's offense. Obviously, the Jenkins offense is probably a little bit different, so I'm sure that's part of it too. Him and Coach Castle and Ski feeling each other out.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is the health thing.
Well, we have the man of the hour, one of the men of the hour, DeMarcus Bowman with Savannah Collins. Savannah, let's hear from DeMarcus Bowman.
You broke a major record at Lakeland High School that was held by one of the greats, Chris Rainey. I saw he pulled you aside after that last touchdown. What did he say?
He was just like, you worked for it, and you deserve it. And that's all he really told me.
And I'm talking to Coach Castle after the game. He was really pleased with the offense and how you guys never really put yourself in a bad situation. Who do you feel like tonight was really able to help you be successful?
Yeah, I got to give it all to my O-line. They watch film, they study, and they work hard.
Absolutely. And, you guys were really able to shut down Plant. Everybody was expecting a little bit of back and forth, but it looked like the Dreadnoughts had the momentum going their way. How did the atmosphere in Bryant Stadium tonight play into the win?
We don't really get too caught up in the atmosphere. We just focus on the game, and we focus, all week and watch film.
Absolutely. And you'll be back here at Bryant Stadium next week. Congratulations on the win, and congratulations on beating that record. That's awesome. Thanks. Back to you guys.
Man, a few words, but to the point, He's
a serious guy.
Working hard. Obviously, Chris Randy said, hey, you worked hard, you deserve it. And nothing much more than that. And one back to another. I'm sure that was kind of when he looks back, it'll be a special moment for him.
And we said great that Chris Randy was here to see that record broken, and attendance, able to congratulate him on the sideline. This would be a night that DeMarcus Bowman will not forget for a long, long time. As we see his coach up here, Coach Harbin, the running back coach, up here in the press box with us.
That's right.
Coach Harbin always, he never feels good until there's no time left on the clock.
That's it. And now he's smiling. Hey, Coach Harbin.
Coach Harbin, come over here.
Get over here. This is up close and personal with one Coach Harbin. What a great win! A lot of fun. How could it be more fun than this?
I'll tell you, it would have been better if we could get one more on the board, but it was good to see DeMarcus open it up, and it was the kids dialed in all week, worked hard, and this is the best practice week I think we've had all year.
Oh, well, that says something.
And we really put it on the field.
Yeah.
Do you guys know anything about Edgewater? I know it's kind of a surprise team this far.
Edgewater, I've seen them on film. They've very athletic on both sides of the ball, and we'll have to have our next best week of practice to come out here and put it on the field as well.
Good. Jahari Martin got in the open field there.
3 touchdowns tonight.
He had the hat trick.
And then that was crazy.
So I know when he saw open field, he's like, well, I'll keep going. Why not, you know?
Yeah, and I was actually up here yelling on that one because I had to come up, but I couldn't believe it. It's run backs play well, and we kept getting them yards and first downs, and that's what it's all about.
You got a stable, too. Even like number 21, Reginald Kellum, coming up. I know he's a backup runner, but tremendous talent all throughout the backfield.
Reggie's very talented, and we're lucky to have him. And anywhere else he's starting.
Yeah.
It's just he's got DeMarcus right there, but we can run some split back stuff, and Reggie is very talented.
We've seen some special runs from Debo, as we call him, DeMarcus Bowman, but he had that one that I think was the 58-yarder, was it? Well, he turned the corner here, and everyone's just wow. I mean, that was a special run, just incredible effort.
And I talked to DeMarcus about last year. We played Plant here, and he had a similar play on the left side, and he got kind of tripped and caught. And I said, DeMarcus, I told him before the game, I said, DeMarcus, you're faster than anybody out here on this field. I said, you need to trust your speed and turn it up. And that's, he said, Coach, I got you. It's fast. I'm not sure. I don't want to cheat him and say something, but
it's sub 4.5.
Yeah, definitely. It's below 4.5.
He's fast. You just heard it right there, and that's it. Well, this is a special night, and off to the state semifinal here, and just a couple more to go. And I know the goal, so we need to keep it putting it to them, and hopefully have a good, successful next week against Edgewater.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely.
I didn't expect this.
It was a pleasure. Good to see you. Yeah, have a good night.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, enjoy it. So Coach Harbin there gets some insight.
Turn around, has hat on backwards. They flip it around real fast.
Get some good insight from the coaches right here up in the press box at Bryant Stadium. I don't know if Savannah's got one more or she's done.
I think that's it. I think.
Yeah. So I think with that, Mike's like, we're done. Time to wrap
just
it
real
up.
fast, you got to get the offensive player of the game to DeMarcus Bowman on a record-setting night. On defense, I think I may have to give Khalil Crawford and Jahari Martin.
That's what I was thinking too.
But Crawford had a heck of a game from linebacker position.
He laid some hammer shots.
And special teams, let's give it to Finley Graham because he had the big kickoff return. Then he also played great on defense tonight as well.
I like those calls.
Team win for sure. Complete team effort by the Dreadnoughts. And hopefully if you're in the area, try to come out and see the game in person next week. Be back here at Bryant Stadium 7:30 on November the 30th. A state semifinal game against Orlando Edgewater. And if you can't make it to the game, Tim and I will be on the call on the Lakeland football webcast next Friday night.
Good to be back with you, Jeff. And
you too, Tim.
For Michael Barrett, Tim Conti, Jeff Goddard, Savannah Collins.
And the entire crew?
Yeah, everyone that pitches in. 49-30 your score here in the regional final. Dreadnoughts victorious. Special night, record-breaking night here on this special blackout edition of the webcast.
And everybody have a great rest of your Thanksgiving weekend.
Enjoy
Happy late Thanksgiving and go Dreadnoughts.
Go Dreadnoughts and God bless.